So, welcome to another live stream, everyone. Today, I thought after the Burberry stream that we'll do something a bit more light-hearted. So, today we'll be reacting to a lot of Olympic uniforms. It's kind of fun to kind of talk about like sportswear and how that meets fashion and stuff. There's so many countries to go through. So, if I forget to mention a country, no offense, it's not deliberate. And also, if by the end of it I've forgotten a country, let me know and we can talk about that country's Olympic uniforms. So yeah, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Someone's already asking about the Lululemon Canada outfits. Not the Lululemons. Not the Lululemons. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Can't wait to see you shit on USA. Damn. Tough crowd. Tough crowd. Talked to my store manager at work today, and it turns out he watches your lives as well. No way. No way. Guys, we're going up in this world. One day at a time. Martin Rose for USA last year, a couple years ago, has to be discussed. That was at the last wasn't it the last Women's World Cup where she designed the kind of like uniforms, the tunnel uniforms for Team USA? But yeah, I feel like that was well documented. A lot of people talked about that. I see Io is prepared to talk sport. What are you wearing? I'm wearing an Inter Milan football jersey. Inter Milan. It's my favorite jersey. I like the way it looks, like the stripes. I always like Inter Milan jerseys. I'm not even an Inter Milan fan, but I just like the way their jerseys look. So I always get them every season. But without further ado, I think we're going to jump straight into looking at some of these Olympic uniforms. So the first one to talk about, because we've kind of touched on this already, so it'll be kind of something we can, fly through, is the France uniforms, the ones that were designed by Berluti. Famously, Corinne Rothfeld was a consultant on this project. Um, I think everyone has spoken about this in terms of the fact that these Berluti uniforms look like flight attendant uniforms, essentially. Um, Also, this kind of like sleeveless muscle shoulder. My guess is that they went for this muscle shoulder because it's the Olympics and because the women are athletes, but I just don't think it hits. But I'm guessing that's why they did it. Um, it's kind of strange considering that LVMH is one of the big sponsors for this Olympics. So, of course, an LVMH brand was destined to dress the French Olympic team for the Olympics. But I'm just quite surprised that a historic event where LVMH is sponsoring the Olympics, an event where any of their brands that are French, which is basically a lot of them, could have designed these. I'm just shocked that this is the best that they could come up with. It's just a bit shocking, to be honest. It's a bit underwhelming, to say the least. So yeah, I don't I don't really know about this Berluti uniform. I think they could have done a lot better. A lot better. I think I already made a video talking about why I was kind of like speculating why Berluti ended up dressing the French athlete. And I guess one of my guesses was that Berluti is not a brand that's kind of well known in the mainstream. And since obviously it's the France Olympics, it's the French team, I guess in their mind, they would have thought kind of like a good way to push Berluti to the world is to have Berluti wear, kind of dress these athletes so that people that aren't familiar with the brand can kind of get familiar. I just don't think it hit, because if that honestly was their goal, then they could have done better than the uniforms that they designed. If you want, to introduce a brand to a new audience, you have to design things that look memorable. I don't really think there's necessarily anything memorable about these uniforms, if I'm to be very bluntly honest. Duke says, I think Kim Jones slash Dior could have done better. Exactly, many brands. I mean, basically all their brands are, are French based, like Givenchy, Dior. It's like, wow. If I was a French athlete, I'd be so embarrassed. I would refuse to wear it. Damn. Damn. Some of these things don't look good on athletic bodies. They need to remember that these people are not 5'9" plus models. And I know because it's kind of weird. Remember when I was saying earlier that I feel like they went for those muscle shoulders. You know, the silhouette of the shoulders of the women's blazers. That's kind of what gym lads wear. Um, and it's kind of strange that they've gone for that. I just think there are way better options, to be honest. Every time I see this, I think it's an airline's hostess outfit, and I have to be reminded it's the Olympics. That's not a good thing, though. That's definitely not a good thing at all. Um, Next, I wanted to talk about Mongolia because I think that Mongolia kind of stole the Olympics. I think that everyone was talking about the Mongolia Olympic uniforms. Um, so they were made by this brand called Michel Amazonka. And I'd actually did some research because I'd actually never heard of this brand before. And essentially, they are two sisters that created this fashion brand. And is someone saying the audio is fuzzy? Is the audio still fuzzy? Let me know, guys. Unfortunately, like I'm still streaming from my bedroom because we're still doing the construction stuff. So the audio might be in and out because I don't have I'm not connecting my Wi-Fi by cable, but let me know if the audio is good. But anyway, going back to Mongolia. So I did research and the Michel and Amazonka brand is actually it was made by two sisters who are both from Mongolia, and they're kind of one of the big Mongolian brands flying the flag for the country. So it's really, really interesting what they've done. They've kind of mixed, and what they do generally with their brand is they mix very traditional Mongolian themes with Western designs like bomber jackets. So even in this collection, they've displayed Mongolia's national colors in the garments. They also have traditional Mongolian patterns and motifs interwoven. Those are the patterns and motifs you're seeing. One of those patterns and motifs is actually the Soyombo symbol. And that's actually a very important symbol in Mongolian culture because it's one of the symbols on the flag that represents eternal growth, wealth, and success. So it was really cool that they were able to incorporate you know, all these different aspects of Mongolian heritage and still design something that looks so nice aesthetically. So I thought that honestly they were really, really big winners when it came to designing Olympic uniform. I think this was definitely like one of the best ones by far. And it's really cool because obviously I've done research into this brand because of this. And so it's kind of interesting that, and I hope that more people look at their brand because of this, because like there aren't too many prominent Mongolian brands when you think of fashion. And I think that I'm always a proponent and someone that pushes fashion is global. Good fashion doesn't only come from Italy and France and England and all these places that are very typical of what we associate with fashion. So it was great to see, and it was also great to see everyone kind of agree online that this was by far one of the standouts when it came to Olympic uniforms, to be honest. Duke says it's beautiful, but it leans a bit costumey. I wouldn't say it leans costumey because it's inspired by traditional garments in Mongolia. So I wouldn't say it's costumey at all. I think that it might be costumey from a Western lens because we don't wear clothing that looks like that. But I wouldn't say it's costumey at all. I think it's traditional dress. It's like a lot of countries do traditional dress. It's like Nigeria, like the country I'm from, they always on in the Olympic ceremony, and we'll talk about it later. They always wear Nigerian traditional garments. And I guess if you're looking at it from a Western lens, You could say it's costumey, but it's not because that's just our traditional garments. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's costumey at all, unless you're looking at it through a Western lens, to be honest. Um, but yeah, it was really, really great. I really enjoyed it. What did you guys think though? I want to know what you guys think about um the Mongolian uniforms. Stunning models. I think one of the models that I think it was this model, one sec. I think this model on the right hand side actually got famous from this like image. And like people are doing whole things on like, oh, this is the model that wore the Mongolian. Like it's actually cool, all the things that are happening for not just designers, but models. And this is also why going back to Berluti and other brands that kind of didn't really try hard when it came to designing these things, or let me not say they didn't try hard, but they didn't design anything remotely interesting. Um, there's actually an opportunity if you design something interesting to actually have free like publicity for your brand, and for even the models that wear it to have, you know, a lot of talking about them, to have features about this brand. Like look at this brand, look at how long we've been talking about this brand, because they designed something really interesting. So I just don't know why, you know, brands don't try, especially because it's actually a massive marketing opportunity for a lot of these brands. Think of how many people worldwide, including people that don't even care about fashion, watch these Olympic opening ceremonies. I think it's a big missed opportunity to really not take it seriously, or to kind of have a sort of lackluster looking uniform. So yeah. The year says it's a great uniform slash garment because even when you consider the context these are designed for, that this makes so much sense. It's for opening and closing processions. Flex on it. I just love the construction. It looks so well made with real craftsmanship. I totally agree. Next, we're going to talk about the American uniforms. Of course, they were designed by Ralph Lauren. There were actually so many elements to their uniforms because Ralph Lauren designed so many different things. For guys that don't know, Ralph Lauren have been designing the Olympic uniforms for quite a while for Team USA. I think since the Beijing Olympics in 2008. I think it makes a lot of sense for them to design the uniforms, considering that Ralph Lauren is very, you know, preppy Americana type vibes. And they also have a lot of experience designing sportswear. They have their own sports line. So it makes sense. I did like to see when they were talking about how a lot of the collection is produced in the US. So it's actually manufactured in Long Island, which was good to see. And I think there needs to be more of that. I'm glad that they also had, you know, a focus on that. Um, so yeah, let me see if they have all the looks on their Instagram. But this, what you're looking at now, this sort of blazer and this woven shirt with denim, is very preppy. It's very like denim in an opening ceremony uniform. It's kind of like this, oh, we're about Americana, like the history of American manufacturing, Levi's, and all that sort of stuff. I get what they're going for. I think most of Ralph Lauren's Olympic uniforms, year to year, they kind of look the same. So, in a sense, they almost get a bit uninteresting because they all have the same vibe over the years. This sweater is part of like, I can't remember what they called it. It's kind of like a, it's like one of the collections that people they've given to athletes to just wear around the Olympic Village or to train in. And it's inspired by the famous Ralph Lauren sweater with the American flag. So here they've just added Olympic rings at the bottom, which is it's cool. I can see how it would do well commercially if like they release it further, which they obviously will. It's Ralph Lauren. Capitalism and all of that. USA. So there was that uniform. I think what was actually really interesting was like the moto jacket, which is supposed to be what they're going to wear for the closing ceremony. So I'm trying to see if they have that anywhere on their page, which they should, to be honest. All I'm seeing is the opening ceremony blazer. Um, okay, yeah, this is the stuff that they're going to be wearing like all this sort of stuff for. This is like the team kit and also the closing ceremony stuff. So all that stuff is actually way more interesting to me than the blazers and jeans with these like white shoes that they were wearing for the opening ceremony. Yeah, these jackets here, quite interesting. It's giving like moto jacket racing slash astronaut chic. Someone said they would never give it to Tremaine. Tremaine would Tremaine would cause chaos if they gave it to Tremaine. I saw that video, and even the wool and cotton is from the USA. I honestly didn't know we had cotton plantations still. Damn. Yeah. For guys that don't know, there's a really good video on In Style. I might put it on the screen actually, but obviously I can't play the audio for copyright reasons, where they essentially explain the process of making all of these Olympic uniforms, and they also say how they were made, where they were produced, kind of the actual techniques that they used to make the pieces. It was really, really interesting actually, and how, you know, they were considering the silhouette, considering that they're dressing athletes. And athletes obviously have different body shapes and body types depending on the sport. And this is, of course, LeBron James. He was the flag bearer. Um, so yeah, it was very, very interesting. It was cool. I just think that a lot of their Olympic uniforms at this point are really predictable in a sense. They're kind of very samey. I would like to see Ralph Lauren do something a bit more interesting or outside of their comfort zone than the super preppy thing. But I don't think it's necessarily bad. I know a lot of people are hating on it. I know people wanted me to hate on it. I don't really dislike it because I just think that it's extremely Ralph Lauren. So I don't really, I'm not going crazy about it, but I also don't think it's bad at all, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Are they selling these in stores too as a merchandise? I haven't looked into it, but I'm guessing that they would. Maybe not the blazers, but they might sell like the sweater or like maybe the moto jacket. Someone is saying maybe the moto jacket is inspired by NASCAR. I can see that definitely. I don't really watch NASCAR, but I know the way that the jackets look, so I can definitely see that. And NASCAR is like a very quintessentially American culture motorsports thing, right? What do you guys actually think of the American uniforms though? I'm very, very curious. Damn, someone said ugly. LeBron is so cute. You says it's too American. I guess that's a good thing, no? The Olympic uniforms being too American. Surely that's a positive. They aren't bad. Yeah, I don't think they're bad either. I don't think they're bad. They're just not super interesting. And I think, like I said earlier, I just think he's always, well, not him, but the team, they're always in their comfort zone. They're always just doing the same thing with the Olympic uniforms. Um, so yeah, that's what I think about it. But I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. I saw a lot of hate online about these uniforms, but I don't know what they're expecting from Ralph Lauren, to be honest. I wouldn't expect anything different. Okay, someone is saying I really like the American one. See, just wearing nice pants looks much better. People want me to go on the Snoop Dogg photo. Where's the Snoop Dogg photo? I didn't see that. I didn't see any Snoop Dogg photo. I can see Beyonce, but I'm not seeing any Snoop Dogg anywhere, to be honest. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. They didn't even give Snoop Dogg the woven shirt away. He's just wearing his chain and like some blue shirt under. That's funny. Why is Snoop Dogg even there? Like what what sport does Snoop Dogg do? Is he just there for like moral support for the American team? That's fair enough. That's fair enough. He's probably high as well, taking that picture. What is Snoop Dogg hosting? What is he hosting? His unk is off it. We love to see it. Snoop Dogg definitely smoked before he took this picture, 100%. His left eye is almost completely closed. Um, I mean, he is a USA icon, so I mean, it makes sense to have him there in some capacity. But yeah, did you not see that Snoop is currently the most well-known hip hop artist to white folks in the US? Is that like a thing? Did they have some list where they're like, oh, Snoop Dogg is the most famous hip hop artist to white people? I don't know. Oh my god, cripping at the Olympics. Oh my god, you guys are actually hilarious. Wait, are you guys trolling? White people voted? No, you guys must be trolling. It was on a game show. What game show was that? That's actually so funny. People actually voted for that. Like white Americans were voting for the artist they love the most, the hip hop artist. That's funny. Anyway, moving on. The next Olympic uniforms I wanted to talk about, which were very controversial actually, were Team Canada. Because, and I have a lot to say about this actually. So Lululemon designed the Olympic uniforms for Team Canada. It's kind of similar to Ralph Lauren, where they made so many different collections. One of the big focuses that I saw in the video campaign that they made was that they really considered different body types. So down to the Paralympic athletes, they really considered like their body types. They considered different shapes and sizes. I just think that Lululemon is just such an uninteresting brand, um, especially when it comes to fashion. And a lot of countries did this, which I didn't really find interesting, where they just kind of wore their team tracksuits on the opening ceremony, which is super uninteresting. I just don't know. And to be honest, the thing about Lululemon that confused me is that there are so many other Canadian brands other than Lululemon that could be interesting. Arc'teryx is a brand that comes to mind. Also, a brand that came more to mind was Canada Goose. Now, the reason why I thought of Canada Goose is because Hyder Ackerman is at Canada Goose right now. So it's a big missed opportunity because Hyder Ackerman obviously has the skills to design a very interesting opening ceremony uniform. So that would have been so cool to see, like Hyder Ackerman kind of designing these Olympic outfits for the Canadian team. And then Lululemon could have designed the kit that obviously the athletes are going to compete in or wear around. But the opening ceremony stuff was just so uninteresting. I don't really get it. I just don't think it's that nice. Even like the medal jackets aren't that great. The zip looks cheap, not interesting at all. It's just not great. I think this is actually one of the weakest looks across the whole opening ceremony, to be honest. It was so weak. So weak. It just looks like any other tracksuit that any brand could make. Lululemon is so annoying to say. Yeah, Lululemon is super trendy right now because it's kind of like I feel like Lululemon is semi-expensive. Like it's more expensive than let's say like a Nike and Adidas or Puma. That's kind of seen as like maybe not luxury, but like more luxe than other sportswear brands. It's kind of like what all these yoga mums wear and kind of feel cool about themselves because you know I'm wearing Lululemon. Um, so yeah, it's kind of crazy to be honest. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Someone is asking me, do I know how the Lululemon name became a thing? Wasn't it to do with like, I don't really know the story. You could tell me, but I know it was something to do with like them struggling to pronounce some word. So they were like, oh, when they make a brand, they'll make a name with three L's or something ridiculous like that. I think it was along those lines, but you would know better than me, to be honest. I'm not claiming to be a Lululemon expert. It's giving baby at daycare Lululemon yoga pant set. Read somewhere the guy that created the brand wanted it to be hard to pronounce by Japanese people who would buy the clothes based on the name. Interesting. You'll never catch me in Lululemon, mainly because they won't let me in the store. The Lululemon is run by a racist, misogynist yapper. I don't even know who runs the brand. I don't even. What makes him racist and misogynist? Like, what did he say? Lululemon got every controversy in the book. I don't know why they reward the company with Olympic gear. Interesting. Fashion Roman, aka live stream warrior. I'm a streamer right now. Micah, if you're free, you can hop on and you can talk about the Olympic uniforms. So someone is saying the CEO is racist as hell. What has he said? Because like I said, I don't really know anything that goes on with Lululemon. I'm so uninterested by the brand. I just don't look into it. So I didn't even know that the CEO was a very problematic person. The name screams no to me. Archive Lululemon on the low on Grailed. That's so ridiculous. So yeah, anyway, they did have a lot of kickback though, because of kind of being problematic, but also just people saying that the kit was uninteresting. I even have a TikTok that I'm going to show you of an athlete who was like not feeling most of the pieces, which was quite hilarious to watch. But yeah, super missed opportunity considering that Hyder Ackerman is at Canada Goose, and Canada Goose is a Canadian brand. They should have tapped Hyder Ackerman to design the opening and closing ceremony outfits. Bad decision to go with Lululemon, in my opinion, because they made some of the most uninteresting kit across the whole Olympics, in my opinion. So that's a shame. That's a shame. I just don't know how this represents Canada in any way, or the athletes, or just anything, to be honest. Um I just don't get it. Okay, Micah's available. I'll post the link in the chat, Micah, if you want to join. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the video from the athlete I was talking about. Um Let me see if I can get that on the screen. Okay, yeah, this is the video.
Olympian coming to the village in the next, I don't know how many days. Scroll past this video, unless you want spoilers. Okay, and if you're not a Canadian Olympian, you're getting the official unboxing of everything you get.
First of all, why did they overload her with so much gear that she has that massive suitcase of just Lululemon stuff?
Sucks.
She's like, sucks. Slides. Oh my god. Just apparel on apparel.
Red? Collectible pins. These I won't be trading in the village. Pins that I will be trading in the village. More pins to trade in the village. A luggage tag. Okay. Rain jacket.
Oh my gosh. Why so much stuff? That sweater was horrible, by the way.
This is sick. I don't know how I'm wearing this, but I love this.
I was wearing this one and then the bright red shorts, and I was like, I
love. This is cute too. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I also really like this. I like this red that they chose. It's actually so much better.
Someone said it looks like a Shein haul. I totally agree. I 100% agree. It does look like a Shein haul. Southern Me, thank you very much for the super chat. Love your laugh. Hi from a very hot New Orleans. Thank you very much. I like to laugh. It's good to be happy. Someone said it looks like it could be sold in Target. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. The Lululemon controversy was about the founder slamming the company's diversity and inclusion efforts by saying that they don't want certain people in their clothes. Damn, they said that. Do they think that their clothing is special? Does Lululemon think that they're, creating new silhouettes and stuff? These guys think they're Yoji Yamamoto or some shit. They make sweatpants. Talking about we don't want certain people in our clothes, like they're some luxury, unattainable brand. That's hilarious. That's really, really funny. They really think they're out here designing revolutionary stuff. Micah said New Orleans. I try not to I try not to offend people from there because I know they pronounce it New Orleans or something like. It's definitely New Orleans. It's closer to New Orleans than New Orleans. So yeah. Lululemon think they're Nike. It's actually insane here. Yes, Lululemon does think they're innovative. That's funny. They really think they're designing some new stuff. They're like, we only want certain types of people in our clothes. Like, who do you think you are? That's funny. Next, kind of like not really much there, but I want to touch on it because I want to talk about the missed opportunity. So Team Jamaica, as always, kind of just wore like the Jamaican kind of tracksuit thing by Puma. Obviously, Puma have been the sponsor of Team Jamaica for a very, very long time at this point. It's a bit uninteresting. I think in the opening ceremony, I get that Puma probably pays a lot of money. And I get that, Puma just wants their logo everywhere. However, I think that there are so many talented Jamaican designers that it's kind of like a missed opportunity not to have something more interesting for the Olympic opening ceremony. Personally, if you think of even someone like Grace Wells Bonner, Grace Wells Bonner designed the really nice kit for Team Jamaica, the Adidas kit. That was really cool. I don't know why they wouldn't tap someone like Grace Wells Bonner to design a look for the opening ceremony, even if it's in collaboration with Puma, because I know Puma just have to have their hands in everything to do with Team Jamaica. So even if she has to, or kind of like by the way, I don't think the people from Botta are Jamaican, but Grace Wells Bonner, yes. Martine Rose, yes. Even someone like Nicholas Daly. I mean, we can just go through the list of interesting Jamaican designers. Isn't Bianca Saunders also Jamaican? Like they have so many designers that it's like, how do they not tap at least one? Especially Grace Wells Bonner. That was the first person that came to mind because obviously Grace Wells Bonner designed the football kit, so it's only right that she would design more sportswear, maybe with a different brand like Puma or whatever. But missed opportunity. So that's why I wanted to talk about Jamaica, because they've done this so many years in a row, not tapping a designer and just putting the Puma tracksuit on the opening ceremony look. I think it's very uninteresting. I think that Jamaica is such so many trends come from Jamaica, whether we're talking about style, music, all that stuff. And Jamaica has so much influence. It'll be cool to see kind of a lot of that creative energy channeled into an outfit for the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, just anything, to be honest. So yeah, I just think it's big missed opportunity by Team Jamaica, in my opinion. You're saying the kit's Adidas. Yeah, the Grace Wells Bonner football kit is Adidas. So yeah. But then the Olympic stuff is Puma. Which is weird actually. Normally teams have the same kit sponsor across sports, but hey, that's a conversation for another day. Kind of strange actually. Someone is saying, I don't know if Grace Wales Bonner could design with Puma. Probably not, because of I don't know, maybe she still has an active deal with Adidas, who knows? But even if it's not Grace Wales Bonner, maybe Martine Rose has an exclusive deal with Nike, who knows? Even if we're not doing that, how about tap Bianca Saunders? How about tap Nicholas Daly? We can still go down the list of really interesting Jamaican designers. So yeah, I just think that there's more that could be done there. Personally, it's just my personal opinion though, of course. I actually have a video to show you guys where they kind of showcase the Team Jamaica uniforms. I actually think it's rare to find a country with all sports teams sponsored by the same company. I think it's if it's very integral to the country, like Adidas and Team Germany, or like Nike and Team USA, those kind of things. Someone said we beefing with Stripes in the chat. Depends. They plan the Olympics years in advance, and brands bid on certain stuff by naming rights type stuff. But what I don't understand is like, so some countries, so for example, Canada, Lululemon just kind of took over the whole thing, or with Team Jamaica, Puma always take over the whole thing. Whereas you have Team USA, who Nike designs the sportswear, but then Ralph Lauren designs the apparel. So you have Ralph Lauren opening ceremony outfits, closing ceremony outfits. You have Ralph Lauren um like garments that are kind of just like training gear, but then the actual kits, the kit sponsor is actually Nike. So I don't know why other countries can't do that. Obviously, I'm not there when they write the contracts. Maybe some sportswear companies write exclusive contracts, which means that they can't tap a designer even to design like a opening ceremony piece or whatever. But I think it's kind of weird because some countries they have the leeway to do that, where they have one brand, one sportswear brand actually designing the kits, and then they have another like more of a designer with a design background who designs the opening ceremony looks and apparel collections and stuff like that. So it's a bit strange. Someone said the swimsuit print is a headache. Does Britain, apart from Scotland, still have traditional dress? Most countries in Europe do, so I just wondered. I guess in countries like Ireland, there's a lot of traditional dress. I think Wales too has a lot of traditional dress. I think actually England is the country that I guess people would consider as having the least traditional dress. However, I guess what is traditional in England has kind of become the norm. So people don't see it as traditional dress. So if you think of like Oxford's Oxford shoes are a very like British traditional thing, but they're so ubiquitous in just fashion in general worldwide. So I guess you wouldn't see it as some like traditional dress. But I guess you could kind of consider things like that, or like old classic British tailoring that is now seen as like just tailoring. But that's, I guess, traditional dress in the UK, if you want to put it that way. So I guess it's how you see it. Someone said normalized by colonialism. That's true though. That's actually true. That's definitely a big reason why these things are seen as like just the norm in general. So yeah. Wait, Purple Rain says the US has antitrust. They can't have the same one or two brands do everything, but I understand what you're saying. Interesting. Yeah, but then obviously it's not only the US that did that, right? For the same reason that Nigeria has one brand designing the actual kits, and then they can wear their traditional garments in the opening ceremony that has nothing to do with the brand. So many countries have a separate kit sponsor to the opening, even Team China, because Nike designed China's like Olympic uniforms. Sorry, Nike is the kit sponsor for China, so they're designing the sportswear for China, but they didn't design the opening ceremony and closing ceremony uniforms. So a lot of countries do that, not just Team USA, of course. That's the irony of these Western countries having seasonless uniforms, is because they've globalized their cultures violently. It's true though. It's really true. So next, I wanted to talk about Great Britain, because I actually thought that this also was one of the most uninteresting uniforms across the whole Olympics. So the Olympic uniforms of Great Britain were designed by Ben Sherman, who has done stuff for Team GB before. I just think that Ben Sherman clothing, everything about Ben Sherman is basic as hell, and boring as hell. That continued in these Olympic uniforms, very bare bones. Um, I just think there are way more interesting British designers than Ben Sherman, like an endless number of better designers, brands, whatever you want to call it, than Ben Sherman. I guess maybe Team GB kind of wanted to go for this, like, classic look type of thing, but I just think that it just looks terrible. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I understand that they kind of wanted to hearken to all the different countries in Great Britain. So they had like a rose, a thistle, a daffodil, a shamrock, which was symbolizing the identities and histories of, each nation in Great Britain. So whether we're talking about Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, but it's just uninteresting. It's just really, really uninteresting, to be honest. OMG, if Burberry did the kit, I would have qualified for the Olympics. Finn says Saul Nash could have been nice. JW Anderson could have done this. Britain should have went with Paul Smith or Vivienne Westwood. Yeah, if they did Paul Smith, of course it would have been kind of like just British tailoring, but it's still, I would prefer Paul Smith to this, to be honest. It looks like what Brit school grads wore in 2012. Damn. Ben Sherman cannot still be popular in the early 2000s. It was a chav staple. Ben Sherman polos and starburst colors. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's actually insane. Luke says, just joined. What countries did I cover? So we've covered France, Mongolia, USA, Canada, Jamaica, and now we're on Great Britain. Yes, Oswald Boateng would have been really cool. That would have been really interesting, actually. So yeah, I just don't really understand. And I read this quote by a journalist called Jack Carlson, who I want to read his quote about the Team GB uniforms because it was so accurate and it just encapsulates how I felt about the uniforms. So what Jack Carlson said is, Britain's Olympic team is well funded and punches well above its weight on the medal table. It's also the country of origin for the traditional opening ceremonies look, a team blazer with a shirt, tie, and light colored trousers. Additionally, it is a nation steeped in history and tradition, and its sense of pomp and circumstance is one of its most prominent national characteristics. All of this makes it all the more surprising that its opening ceremony uniforms have nothing at all to do with the history and tradition of the event. They are so casual as to be, in my opinion, almost disrespectful to the occasion. And that is such a good quote. Like, I totally agree with that. Like, I totally agree with that. Literally said they're so casual as to be, in my opinion, almost disrespectful to the occasion. So yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Someone said this looks like ASOS. Damn. Did you see the woman with the Virgil Birkin on TikTok? Shit had me tearing up. I haven't seen that, I don't think. So yeah, I just don't even get it. Like, why is Ben Sherman like, do you know how many British brands there are? There's so many, I could never even begin to start counting them. And to think that, you know, look at the uniforms, guys. Are you joking? What the hell is that? Wait, wait, wait. Look at the damn uniforms. What the hell? Whose decision was it to tap Ben Sherman for this? Like, honestly, why? Culture says who is going to wear this? Like, Britain is as a, Great Britain is a territory overflowing with good designers and prominent fashion brands, from big to medium to small. Like, what are they actually wearing? Like, genuinely, I want to know, like, for real. What the hell? Like, what am I actually looking at? All about the booties with that fit. Ben Sherman had the most sponsor money. I guess so, because damn. Would have been a great opportunity for Burberry and Daniel Lee. I totally agree. I totally agree. Shout out to Ben Sherman for finessing it, I guess. Any outfit you actually liked, although whom still think can design was a so wait. Oh, Canada. So I've said that I didn't mind Team USA. I thought Mongolia was really good. Um but that's it so far. But the next one I'm talking about, I definitely liked. So the next outfit is we're going to be looking at Team Australia. Australia. Because I actually really enjoyed Australia's kits. So their Olympic uniform was designed by Sportscraft. And it's like just the blazer is kind of like this, like, green blazer with gold embroidery. And like the women are wearing these pleated skirts, the men are wearing these sort of like I call them the safari beige sort of cream shorts. That's what I call them. So I don't really know about the shorts, but I like the woman's looks. And what I like the most about it, first of all, the details are really cool. Also, I'm not sure if they have a picture of the lining, but I saw in a picture that the lining has the names of winners of past Olympic winners, which was actually insane that they had like all those names. That was like really cool attention to detail. But it's weird that on the Instagram page they haven't like focused on that. That's a missed opportunity. I feel like a lot of these brands don't know how to do marketing properly. Like, how are you going to have such attention to detail in the lining and not just have those pictures plastered all over to make it a thing for people to talk about? Um, they'll just put it in like one campaign video and leave it there. Someone said the Aussies look Brazilian in those colors. Damn. But Australian kits and uniforms are always green and yellow, though. So I do associate a certain shade of green and yellow with Australia. Okay, there we go. So that's the lining I was talking about, guys. But I think it's a missed opportunity that they only put it in their campaign video, in like this video, and not in like pictures and stuff, and really focusing on it. But I did like them though. I thought it was really cool. I did like it. Team USA be over marketing. That's because Americans are great at marketing. Have you watched Emily in Paris? Americans are fantastic at marketing. Leo says Australia's colorway want to be South Africa so bad. El colonizers. I always confuse Australians with the South Africans. Damn, that's crazy. And also, Solange, this is so true. Welp, we won't get the chance to read it. Exactly. Because they didn't actually, put good pictures there. So here, they've even got some names in gold. So I'm guessing those are the gold medalists. That's such a cool idea. And I don't know why they didn't focus on it more and we didn't get, you know, close up pictures to really read the names. That's a big missed opportunity. But yeah, I did actually think it was cool. It was really, really interesting. Shout out to the Aussies. If there's any Aussie watching, I have no idea. I don't think there's anyone from Australia that watches my streams. Maybe, maybe not. South Africa should have been Tebe Magugu. That's a good point. Duke is saying they need to change the colors. But Australia have been doing green and yellow forever. All their sports kits have that color though. Like for sure. My theory is that the pattern has some typo and they don't want it to be seen. That's funny. The USA is built on marketing law. We got slick, stylized campaigns and student debt. It must make who's wearing it feel good. Yeah, I totally agree. Wait, Australia needs to change to purple. What does purple have to do with Australia? Oh wow, name is an Australian. Hello to the Aussies. What did you think of your Olympic uniforms? What's your opinion on the Aussie uniforms? I'm curious to get an Aussie's opinion. As someone who is into tailoring, I can say they've done a great job. Not Australian here. The South Africans and Brazilians would like to take the Aussies round back to discuss colorways. I mean, Australia theirs was way better than Great Britain. Like the Great Britain uniforms are terrible. So that's not, yeah, that I don't think that's a hard thing to agree with, to be honest. Um, the male one looks like an 80 to 30 holiday rep. Kroll says it looks modest, just very fit for the occasion. Yeah, that's a fair point. Next we can talk about Team Haiti, which was also like a standout. I really liked it. A lot of people are talking about it. The Haitian uniforms, they were designed by Stella Jean. So yeah, Haitian born designer, of course, and Stella partnered with a Haitian artist called Philippe Dodard. Also, I read that these pieces were actually upcycled, which is really cool. That was cool to see that they use upcycled materials. Of course, they have like bold colors. But yeah, it was really cool. Especially the more so the women's looks than the men's looks. I prefer the women's looks to the men's looks by far. Like by far. But it's great. Definitely one of the standouts of the Olympics. I really love the Haitian uniforms. It makes sense. Very striking. Reflective of like Haiti's rich culture, the colors. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Someone is saying they can't really see the guy. I'll see if I can get a different picture of the uniforms. Maybe if I like check Google or something. Let me see if I can get a better picture, like a close up. I'm not sure if you guys can see this like closer, but yeah, these are kind of like both uniforms. Someone said skinny jeans. Low key, they are like really skinny, right? Like they fit really skinny. So, why is that white woman explaining the Haiti uniform? She must have just made a TikTok and really liked them, and obviously Stella would have reposted it on the brand page. That's all I think it is. Damn, sounds like because white people run Haiti. This is getting mad political really fast. Yes, I agree. Haiti definitely brought the fire. Definitely one of the standout looks of the whole opening ceremony, to be fair. One of the best uniforms I saw on the day. Why didn't they match the women's suits with the men's? I have no idea, to be honest. No idea. But like I said, I definitely prefer the women's wear look to the men's look. Not too much. I like the top, but the trousers aren't for me at all. The way they fit, but the women's look is great. That's true, actually. The woman's vest is giving bar jacket. I can see that because obviously that like strap in the middle kind of cinches the waist to give it that silhouette. I feel like the Olympics is super political anyway. It is, to be honest. Yeah, the trousers are way too tight, in my opinion. But yeah, the woman's look was really, really great. Um Next, I want to talk about my country, my people, Team Nigeria. So Nigeria is kind of interesting because like nothing new really. Every time with the opening ceremony, they just wear traditional Nigerian outfits by region. So it's cool, I guess. Like I'm used to seeing this kind of traditional clothing because I'm Nigerian myself. So yeah, that's kind of like what they do at the opening ceremony. It's cool, I guess, in the Nigerian colors, in the green, white, green. I get it. I'm just used to it though, so it's not anything new for me or to me personally. So yeah, but it's cool that I love it. It's and definitely more interesting than a lot of what I see other countries wearing. Um, Arise, all my compatriots. Nigeria, spawning point of the most devious men on this planet. That's jokes. That is too funny. Micah says Nigeria, rise up. Yeah, I agree with you, Al. It does slap. It definitely does slap. It slaps, it slaps, it slaps. Evan says I like the traditional fits more than the suits. I'm with you there because it's just more it's things that you don't see as often. I said I wear that every Sunday. It's true though. A strong wind just blew in New York when you mentioned Nigeria. Love Island killing the Nigerian man's reputation. I don't know why we have such a bad rep, guys. We're amazing people. Like, we're such great people. I don't know why people, love to hate on us Nigerians. We haven't done anything to anyone apart from, the select few who have run online scams on certain people. But apart from that, I promise you, we're very good. That's a big minority, guys. Songs that the culture says, you know why. When did Nigerian men ever have a good reputation? That's way too funny. Way too funny. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like the outfits for the Nigerian opening ceremony. And then this is also something really interesting that I want to talk about also is the fact that the Nigerian Olympic uniforms are being designed by Actively Black. So for guys that don't know, Actively Black is a um, brand that's owned by the basketball player Lanny Smith, and it's actually like a black-owned company, which is really interesting. So it's cool that they went with that. That's actually really cool that they went with that. So they've designed more of like the team kits and like a lot of the sports gear for the team Nigeria. That I thought was really cool. Just like the story of it. Um, Kind of like a missed opportunity to tap obviously some other Nigerian designers. There's so many Nigerian designers that are doing prominent work. Even brands like Lego Space Program, Adeju Thompson. Adeju Thompson designed the Nigerian football kit not too long ago. Let me show you guys actually the Nigerian football kit he designed. So Lego Space Program. So I would have thought that it would be cool to kind of tap Lego Space Program in some sort of way for some sort of like Olympic kit or something like that. So yeah. But I do think it's cool that they did that regardless. Regardless. Someone said motherland and Moalola for Team Nigeria. Has Moalola ever done sportswear? I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I don't think so. Waffles and cream for skateboarding kit would have been nice. You know what, Tosin? That's such a good idea. Waffles and cream skateboarding kit for Team Nigeria. I don't know if any, because I don't follow skateboarding anymore. I don't know if any Nigerian actually qualified for the skateboarding team, to be honest. But if they did, then that's a big missed opportunity there. Purple Rain says, it's not even Nigerian scammers. They just want you to be okay with being one of 10K wives and children. Oh, gosh. That's funny. That's way, way, way too funny. But yeah, it's kind of like cool that they did go with actively black and kind of doing that. That's cool. That's really, really cool. And I do actually like the design of the kits, funny enough, even though it's not like a major sportswear brand or whatever. But this is the football kit that Lego Space Program designed, the Nigerian football kit, which was really cool with all the different like patterns as part of the print. That was a really cool kit. So hopefully next time, maybe Lego Space Program will kind of have some involvement in the design of the Olympic gear. That will be cool to see. Who's the white guy in the chat who shags all the Nigerian men? That would be Finn. That would definitely be Finn. Those wet vests are kind of athletic. Mohololo wet vests as part of like a sportswear kit. That's funny. That's way too funny. Someone said next. Damn, no patience. Next, we're going to talk about Team Liberia. As always, especially in recent times, Liberia's kit was designed by Telfar Clemens. I think the kit is always interesting. I like what he designs for Team Liberia. I know a lot of companies put their logos there. I think the Telfar logo is a bit too big. Like, kind of tone it down a bit and just focus on like it being about the country, or like focusing on the flag in a sense. It's a bit too much Telfar branding. But yeah, I love like the kit. I'll show you guys the other pictures. Kind of like the sports kit is always really cool. I like it. I just like the Telfar logo in sportswear also. It's kind of cool. So this is cool. I also saw like even in the comments, I don't know if the person is trolling or not, but someone is saying in the comments that why are they waving American flags? And so it seems like someone doesn't know how to differentiate between Liberia and American flags. That's embarrassing. But I don't know if they're trolling or not. I don't actually know if they're trolling. If they genuinely think that's an American flag, that's like crazy. Um, I was when I read it, I was like, is this person trolling? They must be trolling. Someone doesn't know the history of Liberia. Yeah. I don't mind the Telfar branding because it looks athletic. Someone outside of fashion would assume it's a sporting brand. That's true. That's true. If the logo was going to be that big, it should have been black. The neck shape, I do love the neckline. The neckline is really good. I put the logo on the arm. Heading off, but going off lurker mode to say, or they don't know the history of Liberia. Wait, the tall jersey is $98. Which one? Which one are you talking about? Turn on zone branding would have been nice, even if it's big. Someone said the dumbass needs to read a book. They could be trolling though, because I was like, this person really thinks that's an American flag. Do they not know what an American flag looks like? Like a Liberian flag and an American flag are very different. Like a Liberian flag has the star in the top left corner. In the American flag, there are loads of different stars in the top left corner. It's not just one star for the American flag. They must not be very observant. No, Micah, why are you looking for Rachel? Hop on the live stream instead of searching for Rachel. I'll send you the link. We need to bully Micah to hop on the live, guys. Trolling to get 5 comments is loser behavior. I totally agree. Culture says, I just think they didn't know. Okay, fair enough. But I think it's also very I think it's also crazy to think that a country at the Olympics is going to be waving another country's flag. Why would you think that? Yes, Finn, you can join. But why would they even assume that like someone is going to be waving an other country's flag at the Olympics? Like what? Who does that? Why would that even be a thought that comes to their mind? Strange, 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 strange. But anyway, moving on. A country who's, because I've been talking about kits that I liked. Let me talk about a kit that I thought was a bit strange. So Team Ireland. I thought their kit, is it just me or does Ireland's kit look like a karate gi? Like, doesn't this look like a karate gi? It literally looks like I'm about to go to Brazilian jiu-jitsu class. Like I've got BJJ tomorrow. I'm going to wear Team Ireland's kit. Like they genuinely look like they're about to go to karate or some shit. Ireland should have had their kit designed by Enya. Simone Rocha could have designed it too, which would have kind of been cool.
Big up the motherland, Ireland.
The motherland. Wait, are you Irish?
Babes, my name's Finn Delaney.
Oh yeah. That's true. What did you think of your country's garb?
It's alright. It's not the best. I quite like the
karate class.
I like the crossover.
Yeah.
But big up Ireland getting the gold.
What did Ireland get a gold for? I haven't been following the Olympics too
First
closely.
time ever a man from Ireland has got gold in 800 meters in swimming.
Oh wow! Shout out to Ireland. I've not been following it. I've only followed like the sports that I always watch, like basketball and gymnastics. So obviously I saw that Team USA have been absolutely dominating in gymnastics. They just won a team gold. And basketball, of course, Team USA is just like who did they play the other day? But Serbia, and they won that game. So yeah. So people are saying you sound muffled, Finn. I said skin. Finn.
I got no skin in this game. Simone Biles actually slayed. Guys, come on.
No, Simone Biles has been going crazy. Of course, people are salty. Have you, Finn, have you seen all the discourse around like Team USA's gymnastics and all that sort of stuff?
What about it? I watched her.
Like the racism and all that stuff.
I watched Simone's documentary.
I haven't watched that, but I'm really into gymnastics and like so in gymnastics, like big discourse is that like if you think of gymnastics historically and the countries that used to dominate, like Russians and like other countries, like European countries mainly, they back then you would get points for like elegance and like landing very elegantly and doing all these things. So you would get more points for elegance than the difficulty of tricks. But that was because, to be honest, there weren't super athletic black people that were doing gymnastics. So when you had the likes of Simone Biles and like all the Americans come through that are, super like super athletic and can do like all these difficult tricks that no one has ever seen before, like what Simone Biles does. But then Simone doesn't land as elegantly because she's doing these insane tricks. So Simone started winning because of the difficulties of her tricks. And now all the like Europeans have just been complaining that, oh, these black Americans have taken the elegance out of gymnastics. It's no longer an elegant sport anymore. It's just these ultra athletic people flying around. It's not an elegant sport. And like the racism has just gone out of hand.
Why should it be
And it's just
elegant?
like,
Is my mic still bad?
no, it was just like you're breathing heavily into the mic.
No, I on the documentary she talks about the racism quite a bit when she was like, even the hairstyles, like when she first started, like people would just comment on her hairstyle after she got the gold, and she was like, I don't have a hairstylist to do like my hair in a perfect bun every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's just she talked about it a lot and how like pre 2010, every woman in gymnastics had the same hairstyle, same makeup, same look, all blonde.
Yeah, and also, so before like the 2000s, gymnasts also used to be, and that was why, like we associate gymnastics with really young girls, like young teens and stuff. It's because part of that cutesy elegance, it was also how you looked. So if you looked like really young and blonde and skinny and white, of course, they associated that with being like really cutesy ditzy elegant. So that's why, if by the time you got too old, they wouldn't associate that with you. That's why people retired from gymnastics really early. Whereas now, because now it's just more focused on like difficulty of tricks and all that sort of stuff, people can have like longer careers like Simone Biles.
Well,
But yeah,
and the British one, is it Davies? She's 32 and it's her final
yeah.
Olympics.
Someone's talking about Gabby Douglas. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gabby
so they
Douglas is
mentioned
also a
her in the
standout too.
documentary, and basically she came back to the USA, and every conversation that she did on live TV was about her hair rather than about the fact she just won gold.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah,
mad.
Landfight. Yeah, 11-year-olds used to compete in gymnastics in the early 20th century. Yeah, exactly.
That's mad.
Um, so yeah, so there's a lot of anyway racism and like prejudice against these gymnasts just because they're basically too good, is how I like to put it, which is
No, I
hilarious.
agree.
They're just so good that people don't want to get a life and be better. Instead, they want to complain about tricks that
Also,
they can never think of doing.
I found it really funny. Did you watch Simone Biles today?
Yeah, I did.
I found it really funny when she did that minor slip on the I don't know what it's fucking called. The
Yeah,
plank,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
and not like, and they were like, "Oh, she's human." I'm like, babes, like, no shit. And she
She's
still
still
got the
walking
highest
away with
score.
golds though.
Yeah,
Um, you're talking about 15. Yeah, that's why I said culture. I specifically said before the 2000s. I should have specified and said what you said in terms of like in the 50s and 60s they were just as old, but I was talking about like before the 2000s, referring to the 80s and 90s, where I was really a focus on like really, really young, ditzy, teenage looking people. But yeah, it's insane. Someone said also that they used to cry about Serena hitting too hard, which is hilarious. Um I've always said that like there's certain sports that the only reason why certain countries dominate is because there are barriers to entry in that sport. And if certain, people from Compton and the streets of LA decided to enter those sports, they would dominate, to be honest. So yeah. People are saying they should take her to one of Micah's famous barbecues. That's funny. But yeah, so Olympics has been interesting to say the least. But anyway, moving on.
Guys, is
with
my audio
the-
better?
Oh yeah, it's a lot better now. At least it's a lot louder.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about Team China. There was a bit of controversy around Team China, actually, because people are saying that their uniforms are really sexist because they have these. First of all, it was kind of like Berluti in the sense that I thought it was very much giving flight attendant chic. But people are saying that it's sexist because they're kind of wearing these like high heels with these like straight skirts and stuff, and it's like really stuffy. So people really didn't like the Chinese uniforms, especially for the women. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's sexist designing a uniform that looks that way? What do you guys think?
The gymnast outfits are really good.
Yeah, I agree actually. Someone said boring. Looks fine if dated. Duke says it's just bad. China is a very conservative nation, at least officially. That's very true. Someone saying, I don't think it's sexist. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it because I don't really know that much about like Chinese culture to see if like contextually they would see that as sexist. If there's someone Chinese who's watching this stream, like let me know what you think. Is it like a cultural thing that I'm missing?
Nobody's going to admit it unless they get shot with a bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, that's true because Chinese government do move a bit mad. They do move a bit mad at times. I remember one time when who was it, like some basketball player in the NBA critiqued China, like something to do with the Chinese government. I think it was LeBron James even, or someone like that, someone big. And China just pulled like billions of funding from the NBA overnight, and then the NBA like forced everyone to do an apology. It was so funny.
Wasn't it the guy that has really good ties with North Korea?
I can't remember, but okay, people are saying it was LeBron. Yeah, it was LeBron. That was funny. I was like, damn, China have power. Like they were just like, oh, you want to critique our government? We are taking our money. They were like, hell no. You want to critique us? Someone says our business suits for women sexist now. I don't know. That's why I'm asking the women what they think, because I thought maybe it was something I was missing, because I don't understand really how it's sexist.
I'm sorry, but that's just
almost
very
every
80s.
country. I think because every country has a different uniform for men and women. So I guess you could have the conversation in terms of like, why can't men and women wear the same thing? But if it's like single-handedly sexist, I don't really know. But that was like a big controversy anyway. Because it was people in China that were complaining. Like even here it says, social media users in China have slammed officials for having backward gender awareness as the country's outfits for the Paris Olympics opening ceremony went viral for the wrong reasons. So that's actually what they were saying in China. That's why I said, if there's someone Chinese watching this, or maybe someone that's going to watch it back, I'd love for you to comment if it's something culturally in China that I definitely could learn from or understand. That would be really good to know. Wait, who was the get ready to learn Chinese buddy meme originally addressing just fell out of the coconut tree? She says you can't do anything now without being criticized / cancelled. Yeah, I think maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's just something I'm not understanding about it. Going through to more controversy, Team India, their uniform also came with a lot of controversy. So their garments were designed by this designer called Tarun Tahiliani. So the reason why people were upset was a lot of Indians felt like India is a country that is known for its artisanal heritage, the craftsmanship. We've talked about this recently when we've been talking about the likes of Dries Van Noten, and how he has literally a team in India that does the embroidery for garments and apply sequins and all that sort of stuff, and like all the techniques that India are known for. And a lot of Indians felt like this was a missed opportunity to kind of showcase that craftsmanship to the world, because a lot of Indians felt like these garments, first of all, they're not well made, particularly well made. The quality is not great, and the design is particularly basic for a country that's known for like embroidery and like sequins and embellishments and stuff. So there was a lot of controversy, and like the designer gave this statement kind of responding to the backlash, saying that the Olympic opening ceremony is not a couture show. So yeah, very, very interesting, a lot of drama. What did you guys think about the Indian
But surely,
garments? If you guys have seen it, these are the garments here.
but the Olympics have always been about global soft power.
Yeah.
Like China in the 90s, when they started to raise up the ranks, and then they became like basically one or two every Olympics.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, this is the point of the Olympics at this point. It's a non-political push of why your country's so great through sport. But then you've got the opening and the closing ceremonies where you can also push designers to make people actually want to be interested and invest in your country. I don't know, I just feel like a lot of the countries have forgot about like soft political power, and ours is normally through movies or music or fashion. And India, one of the fastest growing economies.
Yeah. And a huge budding fashion industry, and also a lot of couture designers there too.
Exactly. And if you look at Mongolia, I feel like, Mongolia did better than they did. And they're such a small country.
True.
In terms of GDP, not in terms of landmass. Anyway.
Culture, this is a strong point. In the run-up to these Olympics, everyone was talking about how it's in France, so bring your fashion game. That's a good point. I just know this guy caught mad heat because Indians are very blunt with each other. Oh my god, that's funny.
Do you know what? Quick story time. I started to work with one Indian man and one Indian woman, and I've had to adjust the way that I react to things so quickly.
Why?
Because they'll just be like, "So you're getting that done, aren't you?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, it's on my list." And then they'd be like, "No, it's for my client." And I'm like, "No, they're my client. Fuck off." And honestly, they're so... I mean, this is a sweeping generalization of two Indian people, but in the tech world, they are incredibly blunt. And they'll be like, my project manager will be like, "Oh, we're just going to put 3 other meetings in today." And I'm like, "So when do I have time to do my job?" And she's like, "It's already in your calendar." I'm like, fuck's sake. The gig's fine.
It's funny how certain stereotypes have. So in the UK, a big stereotype is that Italians are lazy, which is so weird. But like, because it's really weird. Every time I work in a company that has teams in the UK and Italy, and they have to work side by side, they're always complaining about Italians. Like, Italians are too chilled. They take too much time to do so. Oh yeah, you worked in Italy, so you would know all about that.
Yeah, they actually
I don't know if it's like a cultural thing. I don't know what it is.
Oh my god. And they won't even tell you when they've done something wrong. It is a cultural thing over there. They'll just brush past it. So like when we had deliveries for clothes and stuff, and 95% of it was manufactured in Italy, they'd be like, "Oh, we didn't send those numbers because 6 of them had a stain." And we're like, "Well, we could have decided whether that stain was big enough or not." And they were like, "No, sorry." Or, "Oh, we're 2 months late because we've got summer holidays, and actually you're not going to get deliveries until October now."
Yeah.
I don't know if it's lazy. I think it's just like, because
I think it's just a cultural thing. Maybe they just do things slowly. It's just the culture. It's not just Italy that's like that. I mean, geez, when I went to Antwerp, I forget that like in Antwerp on Mondays, almost everything is closed. So they almost have like a 3-day weekend, which like did my head in because like you want to buy things on a Monday and it's like, no, some people are open, some people are not. You might not be able to get it. And it's like, it's just annoying when you're used to like just everything being open all the time. So yeah, Italians won't be rushed. Quality takes time. I love that.
True.
Al
Also,
says Italy takes August off.
Aya, did you grow up in the city when you were younger? I mean, like below the ages of 10.
Yeah, in London, yeah.
Okay, so like I remember as a kid, like on a Wednesday, a lot of our stores used to be closed by 1 o'clock,
Uh-huh.
and that's just completely gone from the British culture.
Where did you grow up?
In Oxfordshire,
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
and a lot of
But
schools
1
used to
o'clock is
close.
early though. 1
Yeah, that's what I'm
o'clock.
saying.
Whoa, that's really early.
It was a thing to do with like religion.
Really?
Yeah, see, people remember it. See,
Really? What about religion means that shops close at 1 p.m.?
well, I say it was religion. Maybe it was to do with laws or whatever. Like,
Yeah, because
it was called enchantment. Yeah, enrichment time at my
enrichment
school.
time. I've
I had that.
never heard of that. We did
Well,
not have that in London, I swear.
I went to a Catholic school, so I mean, we also had to go to church. But
Yeah, we definitely didn't do that in London. Enrichment time.
yep,
Yeah, I've never heard of this. Like my kids, like I've never heard of this.
that's why I preface.
Wait, for me, is in London you had enrichment time. I've honestly never heard about that. And when I was in school, we ended school at 3:30 p.m.
Dagenham
And
doesn't
okay,
count, love.
I didn't go to a Catholic school though, so maybe that's why.
Ah,
Maybe it's a Catholic school thing because I've honestly never heard of that.
my school in the Philippines made me nap. Oh my god, I would love that.
East London Catholic schools did it. Okay, so maybe it was just a Catholic school thing. So, Finn,
me,
you're right. It was a religious thing.
I bet they're from Dagenham. That doesn't count as Essex babes.
That's so funny. The Essex London beef. You're not from London, mate. You're from Essex.
I was in East this weekend, and the amount of arguments I had with
Dagenham
Essex
and
people.
Barking is not London, mate. Like,
It's like Chingford. When was Chingford part of London?
Al says, I know that French schools had something like that, close early on Wednesdays and a half day on Saturday or something. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I also went to school in France, so that would make sense.
Oh, Fumi says Tower Hamlets, hun.
Okay, there's zone
Oh,
one.
she's got you.
Okay, zone one. Zone two.
Newham as well. Okay, yeah. That's definitely London.
Your day ends up
I
before
went
private
to
school boy.
Catholic school and there was no enrichment time. I guess it just wasn't oh, you're from the north. I guess maybe it wasn't like a countrywide all Catholic schools, but yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. Like, honestly, for me, it was.
What do you mean? Sorry, Micah. The US kids go to school at 6, 7 a.m. Are you fucking joking?
That's crazy. Our school started at like what, 9? Assembly was at 9.
Yeah.
And then you finish at 3:30. At
Yeah,
least
we were
we
till
finished
4.
at 3:30. Yeah, starting school at 7, 6 a.m. to do what? Like, what are you doing?
I know. Were you forced
7
to do?
a.m. half asleep.
Were you forced to do extracurricular? Sorry, I need to talk about uniforms, but
No, it's cool. Extracurricular, like what?
like, were you forced to do a sport? Like, I was forced to do a sport and to do an
No,
instrument.
I think I always wanted to play sports. I think my parents just wanted me to do some extracurricular stuff, and because I wanted to play sports, it was like, okay, just play football and basketball, whatever, or athletics. So that was all I did really, just sports.
They forced me in the summer. They forced me to run. Could you fucking imagine? My
Then you have like you have the posh kids who do violin lessons,
Do you mean me?
piano. You're a posh kid. You're doing violin and piano, mate. I've
Well,
never touched a violin in my life.
basically, I was allowed to miss geography if I did an instrument, so I did 3.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm never going to geography ever again.
Elle, you played violin. You're one of the posh kids.
You would die, babes. Yeah, but I'd be a drama kid or something. Do you know what I mean? We just don't have that culture in the UK.
School start times accommodate parents' working times. There's no educational benefit. I guess in a sense, that's a good point because in the UK, I don't think they considered that properly in the sense that a lot of, like, most places that I work, people that have kids, they come into work late because they have to take their kids to school and then get to work. So they always end up coming late. And it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, you have kids, it's cool. So yeah, that's actually a good point in terms of they make school earlier than when you work so that everyone can take their kids to school. But then how does it work picking your kids up from school? Because I was
Our
always
safeguarding's
going to like,
different.
maybe because I always went to like after school clubs and stuff because both my parents worked and you don't finish work till 5 and school ends at 3:30. So I just
If you
had
got
like childminders and stuff.
in the UK, you're legally not allowed to be left home alone until you're 13 or 12.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think there's just different laws about it. I would go to the
People are talking
YMCA.
about they played the flute. How posh of you? You played the flute.
That was one of
I
my
was kicking a
instruments.
ball around. That's what I was doing, kicking balls around.
I
I
did.
went home and got proper TV education.
Mood.
That's funny.
I did
I
flute.
always get confused on what the YMCA is. I used to think that YMCA meant like the basketball court, like gyms.
It is. It's a Christian youth
Yeah, so
association.
how come you are saying it's the after school club? Because normally when Americans say, "Oh, I'm going to like the Y," they normally mean they're going to like a gym or something. Io calls everything posh, but he's the posh one here. Name one thing about me that's posh. Yo, Micah, don't be baiting out your Marge like that.
I love how the two having a go at people about poshness went to the private school.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, so yeah, keep it stum. Keep it stum.
So culture says basically a community center in the USA. What, the YMCA? Interesting. Interesting. That's a good point, Elle. I did go to private school. That is actually really posh. So good point. Touche.
Tea.
Touche.
The multi-million-pound renovation to your kitchen are posh.
Multi-million pound renovation.
You're only using Italian stone.
So the YMCA has gyms, clubs, pools, computer rooms, meeting rooms. Oh damn, I didn't even know all of that was in the YMCA, to be honest. I just thought it was just a gym thing. See, you learn something new every day. Every day.
I say
My
that
favorite
YMCA.
collection is posh. Fair enough.
Well, you're getting rinsed now, babes.
I asked for it though. Just a bit
Yeah.
of banter.
True.
Micah says, guys, if you saw the town I'm from, Micah, one day when we both make it, we'll make a documentary and we'll go back to where we grew up.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Ends.
It'll be good for people to see the building that we lived in. Hopefully by then they wouldn't have knocked it down and done the gentrification thing where they kind of like make new builds.
Wait, are you
That'll
both
be a
from the
missed
same place?
opportunity. Nah, so basically, what happened was when I was a teen, my parents like moved to Nigeria. So I started living with Micah and his mum.
Oh,
So we kind of
okay.
grew up together. Yeah.
Your mum had the driver in Nigeria, and you just had to live with Micah.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Here we fucking go. See the mansion we lived in, real. It might call it's actually called Mansion
The
Estate.
mansion we lived in. Oh god, that's funny.
Do you know what?
You made it
I
out
got
the mud, innit? Pans over to a 2.3 million house. Out the mud. What do you mean?
Do you know what? I've got real life humbling that happened this weekend.
What
I
was
went
it?
I went to view an apartment in Hackney, and like, you know, maybe I am sheltered. Maybe I did have a privileged life. But I found this flat and I was like, oh, the rent is so good for this flat. I will rent it, right? So I went and viewed it. It was on the 13th floor of an old council estate, when it turned out it's still a council estate, just some people have bought it. And can you imagine me? I literally wore my Rick Owens heels walking through a
Yeah.
council estate, and then it was on the 13th floor, and the lift only went to floor 10. And then I got there and I was like, I can see Oxfordshire from here. It's like, not okay. I thought I was going to, honestly, I didn't think I was going to die, but I just got some weird looks.
Someone's asking about the Italian team. I swear it was Armani that designed like
Yeah,
EA7. They
it is
designed
EA7.
Italian uniforms. I don't really like anything that EA7 makes, to be honest.
No, it's just
It's
chubby.
always a bit, yeah, it's a bit meh.
It always reminds me of Eastern Europeans, and that's no shade.
Damn, that's low-key shady.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't intend it to be that way, that's shady, sorry.
Is an EA7 Povo, see?
You've got like some of the apparel. Wait, let me put it on the screen so you guys can see it. This is like some of the apparel, like the EA7 apparel. And I think for the opening ceremony, but I'll check. But I think it was like they're just wearing like suits, EA7 suits,
I would
if
love to
I'm not
see them
mistaken.
I would love to see them like their jerseys were like jersey material blazers, something that Armani is famous for.
But obviously EA7 is not it's not quite the Armani that we love. It's just a watered down, bastardized version of the Armani we love. So yeah, they should do like, you know, proper mainline Armani for this sort of stuff. But I guess EA7 is kind of like anything to do with sportswear, because I think even Napoli, their football kit is by EA7. So I think EA7 is just like now becoming like the sportswear branch. So anything to do with sports is just EA7. But yeah, this is Team Italiano, Team Italia, just the EA7 hoodies and sweatpants. Not great, not great. Which is, once again, why is it that the most fashionable countries had like the least fashion? Like Great Britain, Italy, France, all of them kind of disappointed.
And by the way, Luke, Bethnal Green is directly east of Shoreditch. There is one road that connects it.
Wait, what are you talking
I know
about?
that because Luke asked where Bethnal Green was, and I'm like, it's literally next to
Oh,
Shoreditch.
okay. Isn't Luke from London? Doesn't know where Bethnal Green is. Are you from Mayfair?
Yeah, honestly, Mayfair, Chelsea, or Kensington.
It's like Bethnal Green. Where's that?
You have to get the Central Line, babes.
Bethnal Green is kind of like a trendy place, no? Because it's like really close to Shoreditch and stuff.
It has become. It's still not as expensive as Hackney, though. Like Hackney Central, it's mad.
Yeah, Luke is from Southwest London, exactly. Posh. Posh.
Yeah, but that's when he's from like Norbury, and you're like, fuck off.
Luke's a Knightsbridge bloke. You know, there's like there's I only shop in Harrods. I buy my groceries from Harrods. That's a different kind of rich. I buy my groceries from Harrods. I was watching a documentary of like crazy rich Nigerians, and I think it was the Otedolas that were like, "Oh yeah, I only buy my groceries in Harrods." I was like, "God damn, this is what you're using our country's money for, to
Yes,
buy groceries in Harrods."
a punnet of grapes. To be fair, though, if I had the choice, it'd be Fortnum and Masons, not even a Harrods for food, but it's another story. You women, if you ever come to the UK, go to the food hall in Harrods. It is amazing.
Yeah, you could. There's like fresh market halls and everything in Harrods. Like you can buy groceries in Harrods if you've got it like that. Like if you've just got it like that.
I've got a friend who did an apprenticeship at Harrods, and they had to do they did like a rotation on every department. And when he was doing his grocery or whatever greengrocer rotation, he looked after the fruit, and he'd get a call every week. And he's like, This guy would be like, "I'm coming in for my panda cherries, right?"
Yeah.
Michael Caine used to come in every week for a pound of cherries, and he'd eat them in his hand walking out.
But why people are so anyway? I guess it's just routine and just what you're used to. Because like, why do you go to such a place just to buy cherries? I don't get it. Arrow One. I feel like buying groceries in Harrods is probably more expensive than buying stuff in Arrow One. I can't lie. Like Harrods is spenny. Like groceries in Harrods, it's definitely it must be more than Arrow One. Even though Arrow One is actually really expensive. Harrods used to sell exotic pets. I didn't even know that. What section?
I'm back on the toaster, guys, but it was the last place in the UK where you could buy like tigers and shit in a
Wait,
department store.
what? Wait, what? I
Yeah,
didn't
they
know
had
that at
tigers
all.
on the top floor.
Why didn't I know that? What the hell? They had
So, like until
tigers
the early
on the top
2000s, they
floor.
had a dog hall, which was like perfectly groomed poodles and shit.
Whoa. That's actually insane. Someone said my pounds would make me comfortable in South Africa. If I move to South Africa, where should I go, guys? I did go where they sold pets, but it was just rabbits and stuff. Damn. Lions is actually crazy. Like, imagine going to a department store, like, oh, can I get 2 lions, please? How do they even transport it to your house? Do you just like buy the lions and then just take them with you? Like,
I found an article. If you can share it in the chat.
yeah, put the link in the private chat and then I'll put it on the screen. Like, what the hell? That's so weird.
I only knew this because my tutor at school, her husband was head of London Zoo,
Yeah.
and they
Oh,
protested
can't
against
find
it.
the page you requested.
Oh, fuck
Let's
it.
just go like Harrods Lions. Wait, there was even a lion that was famous. What happened to Christian the Lion? The story of Christian the lion cub from Harrods. They even made a film about it. Oh damn, this was actually a thing. What the hell? I'm actually surprised I didn't know anything about this. To be fair. Tigers at Harrods is one step away from people trafficking. No, like for real.
I wouldn't put it past the family that own it, babes.
Yeah, it must be delivered. Obviously, I was trolling. There's no way you're just going to like buy a lion and like, walk it through a department store full of customers and kids and stuff. Like, no way. um, I was just trolling. Yeah, they'll probably have a way of delivering it to you. Move to Pretoria. It's beautiful and green. It's about 40 minutes from Johannesburg. I don't mind, because something I'm going to start doing, especially because I can stream from anywhere, luckily. I might do a thing where I like do the digital nomad thing for a bit, where I'm just like in one place for like 2 weeks and then just keep moving around, just to like experience different places instead of like going on holiday like a tourist. I could travel to different places and experience it firsthand while also streaming at night. That would be fun. Micah's is the highest pet shop only closed in 2014. What's this? Like Micah, I'd never knew about this. This is actually insane. I had no clue, to be honest. Also, going back to the uniforms, a uniform that people were talking about a lot was Team Egypt. Because Team Egypt had these like really white looks, like an ivory sport coat with like the stripes, representing the Egyptian flag. These all white looks. Some people liked it, kind of like this white tuxedo sort of vibe. Some people didn't like it. Some people thought it was basic. I don't really know. I'm kind of like in the middle somewhere with the Egyptian uniforms, to be fair. Leo says you don't need to live in Pretoria. Go on. Tell me about Pretoria, Leo. Tell me about Pretoria. We getting to the part where I've got to keep my political opinions to myself. Damn. I want to see what you guys think about Egypt, though.
Quite nice.
Got a bit of a retro vibe. No, we haven't discussed Brazil yet. Not yet. Someone said, okay, Egypt, with your old racist, colorist ass, at least it's tailored. I guess that's what you and you wanted to say, but didn't say. I mean, they're not wrong, though. Egypt is a very colorist country. This is what it is. Facts are facts. It's not really, that's not an offensive thing to say at all. Facts are facts. It's like saying India is colorist. Like, no one is going to disagree with you. It's just a fact. It's not actually an offensive thing to say in any regard.
Thanks, colonialism.
No, literally, thanks to colonialism. Someone says Egypt needs more color. That's true, because a lot of like Egyptian garments are very colorful in a good way. So yeah, it does look really bare bones. But I guess a lot of like religious garments, they wear a lot of white, so I guess that's kind of on brand. Damn, she's at North Africa with no Africans as well.
Well, it's why they call it North Saharan Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, because of the
Yeah.
colonization. That was different. It hit different.
Oh no, facts. I don't even think, I think some North Africans don't think they're African, or they just say they're Arab. They don't even say they're African.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
do,
when it's when in Morocco during the World Cup, there was like a lot of controversy because they were like, "Oh, we're doing this because they did really, really well. Like they did amazing," and they were saying, "Oh, we're doing this for the Arab world," and so they got a lot of kickback because they're like, "Oh, so you're not African?" Then they're like, and then they started changing like their wording. So like Moroccans don't think they're African either. They don't think they're from Africa at all. They
Somebody
don't
just
claim it at all.
somebody just said something about the German uniform. Can we talk about that? The eagle that's on the uniform.
Yeah.
It does look a bit on, sus.
Yeah.
It does look a bit Nazi-esque.
Yeah, a lot of people said that. I mean, yeah. I just think that in the climate of today, um, you know, just try and avoid that. You know what I mean?
It's like the 44 in the World Cup.
Yeah. And I thought in Germany they're really sensitive to those kind of things. Like they think deeply about things like that. Because I thought
No,
that's a very touchy subject, especially in Germany.
the
Like it's
wildest thing
even
about Germany is
in
that they
Germany
do
it's
not
taught
talk
it's
about it.
taught in schools. I thought it was taught in schools.
Yeah, it's
I
all
thought it was
taught
the
in schools,
opposite of them
and then
not
they're
talking
sort of
about it.
told not to talk about it outside of a school.
Ah, okay.
And
I thought you meant they
vouchers.
don't talk about it at all.
Like I have friends in Germany, and they've brought up like World War II and whatever, and they're like, let's not talk about it.
Oh well.
Yeah, Holocaust denial is illegal in Germany. Yeah, that's true.
Jeez.
It symbolizes Europe heading towards. Oh my god! Actually, I wish I never said anything. Oh, T. Luke, special subject talk.
What's that?
He did a whole.
It's
His
all
whole.
we talked about in like every subject. As a historian of Germany, I can speak on this. Go on,
Oh, he
Luke.
lost German. Hmm.
Go on, Luke.
The best pattern cutters are from East Germany. That's what a lot of fashion houses say. It's because they were taught it by the USSR.
Venus says, I'm so afraid to even type that word. How about the tragedy that is France and a Canadian bloodbath? Yeah, I think it's interesting though what people decide is because they're all bad as each other, like historically, all these countries have done horrible things. And I understand like Germany being held accountable for it, but I find it strange that like France isn't held accountable like England or the US. It's weird.
Yeah, because France has
Like
still
the
had more
selective,
colonies than everybody else.
yeah.
France is one of the most, I would say, is the most racist country in Western Europe.
I would agree with that.
Second is Italy.
I think the thing about Italy is that because the thing about racism is also like even if you have racist views in a country, if your country has no pull or influence, no one cares. So, like
Real.
in the case of Italy, they can be racist all they want, but they don't really have a lot of like cultural pull. No one speaks their language. They don't really influence anyone like politically. Um, they don't really have a lot of power trade wise. Like no one cares. But when it comes to the US, the UK, or France, they actually have a lot of influence and power and stuff. So their racism can actually start to affect people's livelihoods in a way that racism in Italy won't, if that makes sense.
Micah, I am. Never been to Germany to find out
Finn
about
could be a
racism.
straight black woman for all I know. Oh god. Someone says Italy. I had no issues, but I did see that all the black folks were cleaners slash low paid workers. I think it
So
depends. Like, I don't have many bad experiences in Italy, but I also have to, preface that by saying that the capacity that I go to Italy in is a bit different because I go with a team or a brand,
yeah,
and like the brand representatives are there and like all that sort of stuff. So it's not I don't really get bad treatment, maybe because of how people are viewing me from the start. Maybe if I was like some random black person that they're seeing, they would get really crazy. Um, I've heard that, like in Italy, if you're a black person and you go to a restaurant, they put you close to the toilets or to the
Yeah.
back of the room. So I've the last time I was in Italy, I'll go out to eat and like test it out. But the problem is I never go out to eat alone. I'm always with Italians, so it's not really a good like way to judge.
Well,
I need
it's
to
also
like
so they
go to a
you
restaurant
don't promote
alone.
the store, promote the restaurant.
Sorry, what'd you say?
The reason why is so they don't want to be seen to be serving black people in a restaurant.
Oh
It's
yeah,
wild.
yeah, of course. That's also why they would never, ever, ever sit like. So I've heard a black person in the window seat, especially
Yeah,
like the window seat is a big no-no.
Also,
Like
Tosin,
apparently, like some parts of Italy are so racist that if you sit a black person by the window seat, once again, I haven't experienced this. This is what I've heard that people won't even eat there.
that's wild. Tosin, I don't speak highly of Nigerians. If you look back on my past, I do not speak highly of them.
Finn definitely doesn't speak highly of Nigerians.
Trauma, guys. Trauma.
Oh god, that's funny. Oh gosh, I don't know why everyone's hating on Nigeria. I think Love Island especially. I've been seeing a lot of Nigerian hate flowing around because of Love Island.
Literally the guy called Io.
Yeah, there's like because the winner, like the guy is Nigerian, right? And then the girl I think is from Zimbabwe. And a lot of like men from Zimbabwe have been making TikToks like, why is the Nigerian man taking our women? Why can't our women find a good Zimbabwean man? Blah blah. And they're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, well,
Here we go.
let's not talk about racism and class in Nigeria, shall we? Bitches.
Agent G says it all depends on where you go / who you're with, how you present yourself in Europe and beyond. So that's the thing. France is racist, but I don't experience like I've gone to a lot of restaurants in France alone, and no one has ever sat me by the toilet or at the back of the room or some shit.
But have you been outside of like Paris or Marseille or?
That's the thing I was gonna say because I don't go to many places outside. I've been to the south of France once, and that was when I was younger, so I can't remember. As an adult, I only really go to Paris. To be fair,
Because like I used to live in the south of France, and I don't think I saw one black person.
Mm.
Do you know? I always remember I had this Pakistani boss, and he said he did a road trip for cricket when he was 18 with his mates, and they're all Pakistani, and they went through France. They stopped off at this village, and the guys wouldn't serve them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Someone said Italians just judge the way you dress. That can't be true. Because most Italians, there are Italians, like stylish Italians are really stylish, but let's not pretend that everyone you see in Italy is some like some stylish person wearing Armani. I've been to Italy enough times and so many places in Italy to tell you that nah. The average person is not stylish like that in Italy. It's just that the stylish people are really stylish. Like the ones that care, they look amazing. But it's not everyone that cares though.
Everybody and their mum has a Prada bag though.
What, in Italy?
In Milan specifically.
I was like, that would be so hypocritical of Italy. They wear more football shirts than anyone I've ever seen. Oh god, country stereotypes are so funny. I find them so entertaining. Like what people think of like people from different countries.
Your uncle lives in Monaco.
I'm telling you, Luke is an aristocrat.
He has to be.
Lives in southwest London. Uncle lives in Monaco. Went to Cambridge. We're piecing it all together.
He really said, "I'm from Putney."
We're piecing it all together.
Luke might be the urban buying up Nadia Gosum.
Yeah. It might have been Luke that bought those jewelry pieces. It might have been Luke. Luke, we're on to you.
Termly online, I would say Brazilians due to the population.
Oh, what are people saying? Oh, Putney, no, well, boring. Luke may be part of the Jordanian royal family. I know, wouldn't that be a crazy plot twist if all this time, all that stuff that's selling out is Luke's handiwork? And I mean, Luke already said that he used to buy Sarah Burton, Alexander McQueen. Like, he's a customer of Sarah Burton McQueen. So Luke is an aristocrat. I'm telling you guys.
Guys, let's not use that because the amount of clothes that I have. I went to Dover Street Market the other day and I haven't been in ages. And I forgot how actually embarrassing it is to people that don't shop. And I was bringing somebody who just doesn't go to Dover Street, but I've been going for since it opened in the other, on actual Dover Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk in like, hey Finn, how's it going? How's your mum? And I'm like, oh, maybe this is a bit too close to home.
Fashion is so fake though. I hate how I get it why they do it, but like sales assistants, how differently they treat you when you spend a bit of money. Like, oh my god, how are you? How's the fact? Like, it's so obviously fake. It's just annoying. Like, if I had loads of money and I was just buying, and I had like people that I go to, when they start that shit, I'll literally tell them, mate, like, we're not friends. Like, just tell me what's in the store and like let me buy some shit. Like, all this fake, oh my god, like, is your mum grey? Because like you can see it on their face that it's fake.
And I always find it funny, like I always go to Rose's Bakery, right? And which is on the top floor. And I don't pay half the time, and I'm like, the people that can't afford this want to come in here and enjoy it or have saved up to come here. They should be getting the free shit, not me.
Yeah.
Just went to the just opened Louisa Via Roma in London. The sales assistant is too much. I hate American sales assistants.
Sales assistant too much. Someone wanted me to talk about the Brazil Olympic uniforms because it's kind of similar to the India uniforms in the sense that there was a lot of controversy in the time, like people didn't like it. So Brazil's uniform was kind of like this really random, but like this denim top with like some stuff on the back, and like it was really weird. It didn't make any sense. But people, so these are more pictures of it. And basically people didn't like it, and their response was it's not fashion week. And it's similar to the Indian where it's like it's not couture. That being said, saying it's not fashion week, but then putting a very obviously fashion thing that's not athletic at all on the opening ceremony kind of beats the point of what you're saying. When there's nothing athletic about what the clothing is. So then yes, it is about fashion and it is about style. But yeah, I do think it was, I just didn't get it. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't get how it represents Brazil in any way. I guess the only one that makes sense is the flip-flops because like kind of like an inside joke. Like one of my really good like close cousins, he lived in Brazil for quite a while, and he said that he told me that how Brazilians know if you're a foreigner or if you're like a gringo is if you wear flip-flops everywhere. Like foreigners always wear like sandals or shoes or whatever, and then locals most of the time just wear flip-flops everywhere. So it's kind of like a thing. But not for the opening ceremony outfit though. Like, no.
Agent G, I'm the same. I only spend money with the same couple of essays.
I won't buy in store unless my essay is there. Not keen on spending a bag with someone I have zero connection with or doesn't understand my vibe. Interesting. I guess because of the way I shop, I know what I want because when I see something I like, I put it in a list, and then if it's been in that list for 3 months without me changing my mind, then I buy it after the 3 months. That way I know that I want it because most of the things get deleted before the 3 months. So by the time I'm in the store, I know that that's what I want. So a sales assistant is basically not really. I don't have a need for a sales assistant. I already know I want it, and I also know I don't want to be sold anything else because I won't buy it. So it's really pointless. So when it says, "Oh my god, we've also got this," and it's like, mate, I just want the trousers.
No. Io, I'm going to give you a good one at DSM.
I'm telling you,
Because
can't
I'm the same
convince
as
me
you.
to
I
buy
know
more
what I
shit.
want. I know what I want. I don't go in just being like, what am I going to buy today?
And I buy like similar stuff every season because I don't buy a lot of clothes, but I buy like so almost every season I get a pair of like Comme des Garçons Un Plus shorts. I get shorts from Y3, like the wool ones, like the 100% wool ones that are like really they just change the design every season. I always get those. Because there was a point in time when my summer wardrobe was lacking. So I was like, oh, I need to get really interesting shaped shorts. So I started getting that every season.
I mean, On Plus will do that for you.
Yeah. So I get CG H plus shorts every season. But that's so like I know what I want. There's no sales assistant that's going to be like, oh, but try these Craig Green shorts instead. Like I'm not interested.
Real.
If I'm in Dover Street, I'm like, I will be having a mainline or I'll be having a noir skirt. Thank you very much.
No harmony in this outfit. And funny they've avoided the Brazilian flag colors. Woman is saying 90s food shopping run. Damn. That's
Real.
harsh. Harsh but true. Duke says, Sam, I know what I want. So for me, give me space to think about it instead of giving me fake compliments on that joy. Oh my god, that looks amazing on you. Oh god, man. I love fashion so much.
Tossin, On Plus is so nice to just worry about sizing. Sizing's fucking awful. Their extra large is not large enough.
This is why I try it on in the store. That's why I say the sales assistant, I don't need them because I'm going to try it on in the store anyway. But yeah, the sizing is all over the place. It reminds me of Andre Minimista sizing when Sebastian Munier was there. I have every single Andre Minimista piece I have, I swear it's a different size. I have mediums, larges, extra larges, smalls, and they all fit me the same way. It doesn't make any sense.
I have the com skirt that is a size small. And like, guys, if you ever see me in person, I ain't a size small.
I'm definitely not a small either. I don't know how Andre Mista has me fitting in smalls.
Have you bought any of the new stuff?
No, I haven't. The only that's not even recent, but like 2-3 years ago, I bought some like new Andy boots. That's the last Andy piece I got.
Apparently, the quality is a lot better since thingy.
Yeah, it is. Like my friends that buy like more new season stuff have like shown me their stuff. Its quality seems decent. I think the problem with Andy is that like once you have a lot of the core pieces, there's no need to buy any more stuff and that's what I loved about Sebastian Munier. His collections were so different season to season that genuinely all my grails for Andy are all like Sebastian Munier stuff that I'm trying to find on Grailed and they're so hard to find and sometimes they pop up. But in terms of like all this new Andy stuff, it just looks like all the old stuff that all you need is an Andy black coat. You need the trousers, you need a couple of the boots, maybe like a Willy boot, maybe the back lacing Vitellos, and maybe the sneakers because they kind of have a cool shape, like the Converse looking ones. And that's it. Like you're done. And maybe some like derbies too, and you're done.
Yeah,
So
I
they're
mean, I
kind of
like some
stabbing
of the.
themselves in the foot. There's no variety in the like new Andy stuff.
That's really fair. Guys, I have a very conservative style. I don't know what you guys are saying.
Finn was dressing like an avant-garde Totti in his small skirt.
It is a very good skirt, to be fair. I do like it a lot.
Which CDD shorts? It depends on the season, to be honest. So the season I actually started buying CDG H plus shorts was I think spring summer 20. That was the season when they had the collaboration with Nike. Well, they do every season to be fair, but this was the Nike MX95s, which I also have, like the CDG collab. So I bought the shoes and the shorts. Because that runaway show, I wanted the shoes, and then I looked at the runaway show, and I was like, the shape of those shorts are really cool. And I went into the store, inquired, saw how cool the shorts were. Then I started looking through CDGH Plus shows and realized that they do similar style shorts every damn season. And I was like, oh, it'll be cool to get these like one every season. And that's what I've been doing since.
Literally. I do the same. I always know they're going to have a similar shape every season.
Yeah. Same with
Anyway.
Y3. Like Y3 always do like a similar shaped short too, and it's like made of 100% wool, which is crazy that like an Adidas Y3 is like 100% wool and it like costs what it costs, because if a higher brand did the exact same shorts, it would cost so much money.
Yeah.
So I get those too.
Can we talk about Japan's uniform?
Oh, I don't think I saw Japan's uniform. What did it look like?
It's Y3.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I had no
Or
idea.
at least the
Let me have a
skateboarding
look.
is.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. It looks like it's Asics, no?
Is it? I
I'm
thought.
seeing Asics stuff.
Or was it the football that was Y3?
Infrared resistant uniforms, apparently. That's cool
I thought
though.
that's sunshine.
For all the sunlight beaming on there. Yeah, these are the uniforms. Wait, let me put them on the screen for everyone to see. Yeah, this is what they look like.
Oh, they're shit. See, Leo, thank you. It was the football.
Oh yeah,
one.
that is football. Yeah, that was football. You must relieve us of this Brazilian trauma. I love Issei for fashion, but not for me wearing. I think the problem with Issei Miyake, at least for me, is that I find all the interesting stuff to be women's wear. The menswear stuff is just like, for the most part, just like the un plissé stuff that I
Agreed.
find really like tiring, because okay, you get like, and I have a few un plissé pieces, but it's like I have the t-shirt, I have the vest, I have the polo, I have the trousers. Like, where else do you go from there? There's nothing more to get once you have those pieces, so it just becomes a bit boring.
Or just buy the
But
women's. It fits me.
the women's wear, it doesn't fit me though. Like the women's wear is so good. The women's wear, they have like all these ponchos that you can
So
like
good.
adjust to look different ways. I'm like, why don't we have interesting stuff for menswear? It's like these brands don't like men.
It's just they think that men won't buy anything experimental, which is not true.
Yeah.
Sorry, Agent G has said, have you heard of Viper? Yeah, I have heard of Viper in Milan. I like it a lot. En plissé has interesting takes. To be fair, en plissé in recent seasons has become a lot more experimental in shape.
I mean, they've done the. I see what you mean about the print. Some of the prints are interesting, but it's still not as experimental as the woman stuff is. Because sometimes I forget, and then I'll see someone wearing like pleats please or like a mainline Issei, and I'm like, what brand? Like, is that Issei? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, damn, we don't have that with menswear. Like, that's crazy.
I think people also like en plissé was such a trend, or still is such a trend. And then when you
Yeah.
see people that actually buy en plissé, because they've already got the basics, and then they buy like the weirder stuff, you're like, oh, there is some good pieces. Do you know what I mean?
I'm actually curious. Let me look at the website.
I need to hook you up with the PR at Ismiyaki.
I won't say no. Let's see what's on the website right now. See if there's anything interesting. The coolest Issei Miyake piece I have is probably my Issei Miyake tie, because of the texture of it. It's so cool. And like, I don't know too many people that have it because it's like a very old piece. I feel like this is, obviously we're going to keep going, but it's like more of the same of what you see every season.
You've got to look at it, like these pieces are quite nice the way they've been cut. Is it rectangle? Yeah. But I do agree, it is, in comparison to the women's, it's very fucking basic.
Okay, this box pleats thing is like the thick pleats. Thick with 2 C's. Let's see. Still
Do you
in
remember?
search of anything remotely interesting.
Do you remember when they discontinued the men's runway? I was so sad.
Yeah, I know. I get it though. I think they weren't getting the traction that they needed, so they eventually just like nah, not worth
But
it.
the way that they do their drops is quite interesting. So like obviously the first month of the season is like the basics, and then it gets weird, like more and more progressively weirder,
Mm-hmm.
which I like.
Islamiyake brands are confusing. There's so many. That's how I feel about Yoji. In fact, I can't tell you what Yoji sublines are active because they're always coming and going.
And I can't tell the difference between quality either. Like, is there a difference?
There is a slight difference, especially between mainline and what's that one again?
Is it Wise?
Wise, yeah, Wise. It's supposed to be like an entry point version of the mainline, even though it's not really entry point because it's expensive as fuck. I think the entry point is Y3.
Well, Wise is cheap if you buy it on the Japanese website and import it.
mm,
It's just the taxes that fuck us.
that's probably why I've not considered it because it's like there's no point buying something for the low. It's kind of like people lament about Essence sales,
It's only good in
but you know
America.
that yeah, it's not good for us because by the time they add the fees and shit, it's like pointless.
Because I
So
bought
it's
that.
just like
On the Discord, I posted the Rick shoulder thing.
yeah.
I bought that through my friend in America, and it worked out at like 150 quid. But for us, it's 240.
Wow. Yeah, because shout out to my fellow Americans, but they're always like, "Oh, the Essence sale is amazing." I'm like, "Great for you." That does not apply to us.
Also, when are the UK going to up their tax threshold for the imports?
Oh my god, it's so low. It's so annoying.
Because America get away with it.
What do you know what the maximum is for the US before they get taxed? Ours is so
850.
low. I think it's like eight. Wait, what?
Yeah, theirs is like
850. I
$850 before they
swear
can pay
ours
tax.
is like damn near like
130 quid.
60. No, it must be less. It must be less.
It's £39 for some stuff, but it's 130 for
Okay.
customs.
Okay, because it must be less. Because I remember when I was doing my magazine, I had to like strategically make sure that people weren't like they weren't being hit with tax and stuff. 850. That's insane.
Yeah, it's really high because because a lot of my mates would buy stuff on Hervia because they used to take the tax off, and then they would buy like Rick, for instance,
Yeah.
cheaper than like 70% off sales in America.
Wow.
Yeah, and they wouldn't pay tax on it because it'd be like 850 or like 849 or whatever it is.
And that's why in the US it's really good to set up businesses because they've kind of like set it up to where it's beneficial to run a business where you're not being taxed for like tiny amounts of like goods and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But
Or in the
not free
UK, just get
healthcare. So.
taxed for everything. But yeah, the free healthcare kind of cancels it out. Someone
But
said I'm
then,
looking like Lukaku. That's hilarious.
is that
Because of
a?
the Inter Milan jersey.
Oh right, yeah. I was going to say, is that an Inter Milan jersey?
Yeah.
I got into an argument in
People
Milan.
People when I wear this jersey anywhere really, especially to the gym, people like start asking me, is that Lukaku? Like he's really hated. Like, they're like, is that a Lukaku jersey? I'm like, nah.
Is it because I'm black?
It's like they want to fight me if it's a Lukaku jersey. I'm like, damn, he's pissed off a lot of fans.
I got in an Uber and they were like, "Are you an Inter fan?" And I was like, "I'm just not a football fan."
Why are they asking if you're an Inter fan? That's so random.
And I was like, well, because he obviously was. And then he was like, "Oh, where are you from? Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I used to live in Manchester." And they were like, "United or City?" I was
No,
like,
this Inter Milan jersey has done me a lot of good. I wore this jersey to a Nike event, and some like the Italian Nike team were like, "Oh my god, are you an Inter Milan fan?" I was like, "Not really. I just like the design of the jersey, so I buy it every year." And they were like, "Ah, anyway, um, if you want to go to any Inter Milan football game, let us know and we'll get you free tickets." I
anyway,
was like,
because you buy it.
"Say less." They're like, "Because you buy it, um, even though you're not a fan, okay." We'll just act like we didn't hear that. If you want to come to the games, let us know.
Babes, I'll fucking go with you. Oh my god.
No, next time we're in Milan, if there's like a game going on, we should definitely go. Like Milan
Defo.
Fashion Week, if you're around.
Well, I'm going for Salon Immobilier because they're on whatever. Because Jordan Luca are doing a collab with somebody.
Ah, nice.
IO really sounding like an industry plant because he is.
Industry plant is hilarious. Moving like Jack Harlow.
Moving like Billie Eilish.
Wait, who is Micah talking about? Oh, Dave.
God, Dave.
Lukaku came to Chelsea on 120 M's and stank worst signing in the 21st. He is though. I thought Fernando Torres was a bad signing, but Lukaku just blew it out of the water. The thing about Lukaku, the reason why he's different to Drake is Lukaku actually speaks 6 languages, I think. So he speaks Dutch, English, French, Spanish, Italian, and there's one more I'm forgetting, but he speaks a lot of languages. So it's different. That's why he switches accents. Drake is just I don't even know, cornball.
The Nepo baby identifying the industry plant. Am I a Nepo baby?
But yeah, guys, by the way, is there any Olympic uniform I left out that you guys want me to talk about? Is there any other country, guys?
Did you watch the opening ceremony?
Parts of it, not the whole thing.
When some of those countries got those tiny little boats, I felt sorry for them. I was seasick watching it.
And then you saw the massive boat that America got, right?
Yeah. We just looked at the Japan one. Oh, Taiwan. People want to look at Taiwan.
Oh, Taiwan. I don't think I looked at that.
The
Also, stay hydrated, guys. No free marketing. hide the logo like celebrities. They're always hiding logos. It's so funny.
or blurring it out.
Like I'm about to drink like a drink, guys. Stay hydrated, and then they like blur out the logo. Okay, Taiwan. Let's have a look. I
Also,
can't remember
do you
what
know
I was
there's
doing on the opening ceremony day, which is why I didn't watch all of it. I think I had someone
you
to
didn't
go.
need to. You really didn't need to. It was awful.
Damn.
Did you know about Team
God.
USA calculate their leaderboard differently from the rest of the Olympics?
Really? How do they calculate it?
So everybody calculates their leaderboard on who's got the most golds and silvers.
Okay.
So whoever's got the most gold goes to the top, and that's how it's normally done. And then on like silver kind of comes into play, but not as much. But America just do it on who's got the most medals.
Interesting.
And obviously, because they have the volume, they're going to get a lot
Well,
of medals.
they've got first of all, they've got a massive population. I saw a stat the other day that said that Team USA has won the most Was it either Olympic medals or Olympic golds in history? They had 3,000 Olympic medals in total.
That's
And
wild.
no other country has gone past, I think, like 1,500, which is actually insane. Like Team
Insane.
USA and China just dominate the Olympics every single time, which is obviously population and also resources.
I would love
Yeah,
for
that's
them to
crazy
put a
though.
cap.
It's funny because I was watching this video the other day. I think it was Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. They were complaining that Team USA athletes, like every country, they decide how much money the Olympic athletes get for like a gold medal.
Oh yeah.
And Team USA's one is quite low. I think it's like 37,500, and then some countries like 200K for a gold medal. And like, I'm like, why are they complaining? Do you know how many Olympic athletes there are in the US and how many golds they win? Can you
Literally.
imagine if the US government was giving each of them 200K? Like, the country would be in debt.
And if you get like in America, if you win gold and you win big, the amount of sponsorships that you get anyway.
Yeah, because obviously in America, like the publicity that and the marketing machine that comes with being from that country is enough anyway. So yeah, you don't need the money that like say, and I guess other countries, the reason why the fee is so high is because no one actually wins gold. So when someone actually does win a gold, it's like so monumental. It's like, yeah, we're gonna give you 250K or whatever.
I didn't realize Simone Biles is married to an NFA NBA.
Well, and NFL, yeah, she's married to an NFL player.
That's it.
There's always controversy around their relationship. It's quite funny.
Why?
Because of like
Height difference.
there was like an interview. Why do I know about all this stuff? Jeez. Anyway, I know too much stuff about weird shit. But anyway, they did like an interview with her boyfriend, her husband. So I said her boyfriend, and he's a bit cocky. Like they were asking him about how he met Simone, and he was like, she was like hitting on me, and like he was trying to act like he's 100% the catch, and like no one even knew who like she was, and like he is the reason. But it's like, bro, no one knows who you are. Everyone knows who she is. Like, you're literally an unknown American football player. Like,
and she's international,
it's
baby.
like no one knows who you are, my guy. Like I didn't even know till today. I don't even know his name. Like I just know him as like her husband.
And everybody in the chat is saying the same.
Exactly. Yeah, we refer to him as Simone Biles' husband. Facts. So yeah, so that's why there's always like conversations around our relationship, because it's like he's always like, yeah, like, she was hitting on me, and I was like, okay, let me see what's going on here. Let me see who this is. Like, it's like, bro, chill out. Calm down.
Dead. By the way, I like their outfits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back to Taiwan. The outfits are amazing, by the way. I really, really love the outfits. Let me run the video back so you can watch it again.
Run it back.
Run it back. Yeah, I really love the outfits. Definitely one of the better outfits.
I quite liked Hong Kong's one as well. But it's just because I
saw
like
that one either.
I think they just played with their flag.
Alyssa, yeah, we discussed America's outfits at the start. Io Kenzo uniform for Team France Judo. That's interesting. Kenzo is LVMH, right? So that's also an LVMH push.
It's wild seeing the Damier check when they give out the award.
I know. Like, even like the medal case and all that stuff. Like, it's just too much. Too much LVMH. American footballers and basketballers. Do you know what it is? I feel like basketball players are more so treated like gods than American football players, mainly because, first of all, American football teams are so big that in every team there's maybe a few stars, whereas in the NBA, and also American football players wear helmets. So unless you really know about the sport, you're not used to seeing their face all the time. Also, the NBA like fashion is way more advanced than the NFL, like with the tunnel fits and like all that sort of stuff. There's like more fashion pages about NBA players' style than the NFL. So I think pop culture wise, basketball is more fashionable, and then also people wear basketball shoes as lifestyle shoes too, and basketball apparel for fashion reasons. So basketball is a lot more sexy in that way. There's very few American football players that are like really mainstream, like Patrick Mahomes maybe. There's
What's the
like
guy that
not
wore
many
Raf?
there. Who? Because many of them wear Raf.
The one that wore
Was he a
the
football
pink
player or an
sweater.
NBA player?
Babes, I don't know.
You gotta help me here, Finn.
He wore the pink sweater that I own.
Wait, American football teams may be bigger, but the players of basketball players are likely more larger. That's funny. Qualify that they are treated as gods by men. I wouldn't just say it's men. I've seen videos of LeBron running away from women. Like,
That's what I've got to do
have you,
every day.
like, shout out to LeBron for like never cheating on his wife. Like, I respect that man so much. Like, I've seen videos where LeBron goes back to his hotel after a game and there's just 40 women waiting for him outside his hotel. And when he sees them, he like runs away. Like, I've seen videos of him. There was a video of him where he was running, like these women were literally chasing him and he was running down an escalator.
Honestly, the fucking dream.
He was like running for his life down the escalator. Maya says he cheats. Surely, if he cheats, though, with how high profile he is, they would have like stuff would have come out about him. Surely, because stuff comes out about everyone. As a celebrity, you can't get away with anything. I feel like, especially at that level.
They pay all these rumors.
I don't know. They keep making all these rumors that he cheats with white women and pays for their whole life so they don't ruin his image. Does that work though? I've never seen a situation where paying people off works, because then they just blackmail you for more money and then eventually it just comes out anyway. I don't think that works.
Look at Army Hammer.
LeBron is playing us all. God damn, these people have no faith in LeBron at all. Damn.
And I think he's ugly as fuck as well.
What, LeBron?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he's ugly, but I don't think he's like necessarily attractive too.
Yeah.
But like his wife is really, really like Savannah. She's really, really attractive.
Do you know who I worked out who's really fucking hot? Idris Elba's wife. Oh my god.
Who's his wife again?
I don't
trying to
know. She's
remember
really
what
hot
it was.
though. Is it
Let me
Samantha
Google
Elba
it.
or Rachel?
Oh, Sabrina. Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I agree with you.
She is.
She's beautiful.
I think she's Somali.
She looks it, but she could be. Let me cross check. But she does look Somali. Let me just fact check that one quickly. It says she's Canadian, but that's not okay. Yeah, she is of Somali descent. So yeah.
Her parents are Somali and she was born in Canada.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't fucking know. And
Wait,
she's
Somalian, and she's related to one of the Real Housewives of Dubai. Interesting. So she rich.
Luke, that is fucking wild.
If LeBron trims his beard and put a bag over his head, I'll probably. Oh my god, Luke. Luke is crazy.
To be fair, though, same.
She comes from money. I mean, she looks like, you know, when someone has aura, like she has an aura of just someone that's like rich. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Like some people just have that, like they just look rich.
She's doing amazing things for this charity called Farming Africa. And basically, she helps people get like a sustainable wage in Africa. And
That's amazing.
but she also is pushing because she owns a skincare brand, but she's pushing other conglomerates to use local farmers within different countries that have specializations in like flax seeds or whatever it
Yeah.
might be, to make sure that they can keep afloat. But then they're also funding the same charity which she is the patron of, and she's always doing something with them to diversify, because obviously a lot of sub-Saharan countries have had like the worst droughts they've ever seen, so they're trying to diversify what they do.
You and you says the chat is too horny today. um
All right, I'll be serious, mad.
Venus says, I think LeBron is okay. Man's looks come from his height and body. I think he looks good. Also, a lot of women say that LeBron is cute. They say he has a cute face. So
LeBron, I'm gonna have my
that's
final
something
thoughts.
that people say. I think it's true though. Venus, you're right. I think I've never actually had to ask myself if I'm attractive looking or not in the face, because I don't. No one talks about it, and no one considers it, and no one cares. So I've never actually cared. And I don't think the people that I have dated, I don't think that the reason why they're attracted to me is to do with like my face. I don't think. I think it's more to do with like my personality, and maybe height is part of it, and like other stuff like that. So I guess you're right,
This is
Venus.
very straight coded to me.
What is?
This whole conversation, because I personally, I will not date somebody that's got a munted face.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh my god,
An
that's
ugly
funny.
motherfucking face.
Oh my god. Leo says I'm doing self promo. No, I was being so serious. Oh, wait, I love when the chat forgets about allegations against me. At one point, I couldn't beat them. Micah hangs out with TikTok girls allegations. Micah, then why did you bring it up? Just for you just brought it up to be trapped. You trapped yourself.
Micah, let's not bring back the sauna, shall we?
You literally trapped yourself. Retro Snow White is like, bro, what are we talking about? Random stuff, random stuff, random stuff. Someone asked me if I've seen the South Korea uniforms. I actually haven't, so let me see. South Korea Olympic uniforms.
You woman, you. Micah is that friend.
Like, Micah literally just baited himself out. I don't know why he did that. He didn't need to do that. Oh, there's a page that has a lot of the different. Let me put this on the screen so we can quickly, especially if I left some of them out. So they've even got Spain, which is like Joma.
I quite
Joma
like
do very
Balenciaga
few
to do one.
things. Okay, that's Canada. We've talked about that. Lululemon chic. Haiti, which was really good. I liked USA. We've talked about that. Italy, Armani. We've talked about that. India. Yeah, we talked about the controversy of that. Great Britain. We talked about how terrible it is. Okay, Sierra Leone. I never saw this actually.
That's short shorts.
Yeah, those shorts are short, and just like Adidas apparel collection. Cool print though.
Very. Love to go to Sierra Leone.
Yeah, those are the short shorts. I call that the Prada effect.
Real.
Those are the Miuccia Prada shorts / the Sabato Gucci shorts.
And I'm not being funny. If you've got thick thighs, you can't wear them short shorts.
Facts. That's straight facts. Someone said the culture says they only have 2 athletes. You know what? I have no idea. I'm guessing they don't only have 2 athletes, but Oh, this is designed by Labrum London. Okay, that's interesting.
So
Where
cute.
I thought Fede was Nigerian. Wait, one sec.
He is.
Yeah, maybe he
He
has
does have
ties to
sexy
Sierra
legs,
Leone, or
Luke.
maybe they just wanted like. Okay, yeah, he is Nigerian. I was like, what? Wait,
I went.
no, he's from Sierra Leone. He's from
Is
Sierra
he?
Leone. It says it here. Yeah, Sierra Leonean fashion designer Fode Dumboya. Damn, I
Mm,
thought it was Nigerian the whole time.
so
That's
did
great.
I.
How Nigerian of me, centering everyone around being Nigerian. How dare me?
You seriously
No,
were
he's
like, if
actually
he
from
ain't
Sierra
Yoruba, I
Leone.
don't care.
It's because Fode, like I know a lot of Nigerians with that name, so that's why I just assumed that he was Nigerian. But no, he's actually from Sierra Leone, so
I
it
went to
makes more
their
sense.
after
Because
party.
normally Olympic like uniforms are normally designed by brands or designers from that country, unless a kit sponsor is like blocking that. That's why I said let me ask, because I know Labrum London have a ongoing collaboration with Adidas. Even like some of their recent runways, they've had the Adidas collab like with the Sambas and stuff, which are really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Labrum London.
Tiny Paul Mescal shorts.
They also designed the Arsenal kit not too long
Did they?
ago. Yeah, the third kit.
Well, it wasn't going to be the first, was it? Because they ain't that good.
Well, no. I mean, it's just the first kit is just going to be red anyway. It's not. It's not nothing new there.
Do you
The
like
Nigerian
Labrum?
supremacist in you is showing. I just don't think I follow the brand close enough to know whether I like it or not. To be fair,
I
like
just
I
don't
know
think it
about the
evolves enough.
brand. I see some of the stuff that they make, but I don't follow it close enough to know. Okay, I really, really like it. I really don't like it. I don't know.
They have a good
Um,
party, that's all I'm going to say.
Shout out to Labram though for doing that. Let's keep going. Okay, Spain, Team Spain, Gemma. Sports kit, boring. Pleated skirt is cool though. I don't like the shape of it, but could have done more with that. Interesting. That's
This was
interesting because
awful.
Nike is doing the basketball team. Yeah, we talked about France, Berluti uniforms. It's so funny that France is like supposed to be the fashion capital of the world, and that's
Bring
the best
back
they could come up with.
Haida.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Finn, I'm not sure if you were on the stream at that point, but I said that Canada should have used Canada Goose so that they could get Haida to design the uniforms.
I agree. But maybe they'll do the Winter Olympics.
Yeah. Okay, so this is South Korea with some like gradient tracksuit. Was this a South Korea uniform? Because I think someone earlier was asking me to talk about South Korea. It's not really that interesting. Like it's a cool gradient thing, but it's just like the tracksuit. Nigeria, we've talked about this. Actively black. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, let me show you Finn the Labrum Arsenal kit.
Yeah, show me. For me being such a big football fan.
Yeah, that's the kit they designed.
Oh, it's nice. I like the colours.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm waiting for the Arsenal fans to be like, oh, the club's been destroyed again. It's all about blackies in Africa and all that, like
Oh, fuck off.
making a club all black and all. I
If
can't
I
wait.
haven't, what is it with this racism towards Saka?
I just think English people like a scapegoat. You know, since the last, what was it? Was it the last Euros where Saka missed the penalty and like
Oh
they started
yeah,
calling him a monkey? I vow to never ever wear an England jersey ever again, and I will never.
mate, you couldn't pay me to wear one.
Not like I really cared about wearing. Like I barely used to wear it, but now I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely never wearing that shit. First of all, it's a colonizer jersey. Secondly, like what it represents, like football fans, especially English football fans, are the worst fans in the world. Like honestly, the worst.
It's true. In it, Saka is so nice.
Like he's so nice, works hard, such a good player. Like even in the Euros when he missed the penalty, the reason why England were even in the final was because of Saka's goals and assists and stuff that even brought them to that stage in the first place. So I feel like a lot of English football fans, they have like short-term memory.
Also,
Got Alzheimer's.
Can we just have controversial opinions here? When is Hector, the Spanish guy, when is he going to come out as gay? Because
What, Hexabellion?
yeah, I need to have a chance with him. There's a lot of gay footballers.
I love that gay men only care about sports when it comes to talking about the fit athletes.
Now, to be fair, I do have a I
Go
like
on, what are you
rugby.
into, Finn? Of course you like rugby. Do you like rugby because of the sport or because of the men?
Both. I used to play.
Did you actually?
Yeah, only at school and at sixth form.
Oh, okay, fairs.
I did it for 1 year at uni and then I quit.
Oh yeah, Purple Rain. They go and get all the best players in Africa and treat them terribly. Again, they only qualify for World Cups and European Championships because their best players come from impoverished backgrounds. Facts, though.
See.
Facts.
I
Finn,
have
Michael wants
watched
to
the
know
league.
what position you played
At number 8.
in rugby.
At number 8.
Supporting England in football is a guaranteed L. So do you know what's funny? Most of the most recent Euros, most of the games were when I had basketball training. And I remember when I was at basketball training, one of the guys on my basketball team is like this Indian guy, and he is so anti like the monarchy and all that stuff, which is fair enough. He's Indian, it makes sense. I'm anti-monarchy too, I'm Nigerian. So like I'll say it, I don't care. So he said a comment when we were at training, like we clearly don't care about England because we're all here at basketball training instead of watching the Euros. And I remember when they were in the finals, I went to training and he was like, I really hope England lose today. And I was like, I'm with you, mate.
Real.
I was like, I'm with you. I don't want England to ever win a trophy ever. I just want them to keep like the racist fans just keep being in pain. Just it's coming home and it never comes home.
It's never coming. It's just edging. By the way, every song if I've watched if I've watched Elite, I have, because that Omar guy's in it and he's one of the fittest guys I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Omar Sy.
Yeah. And he's definitely gay.
How?
Babes, don't worry about it.
Has your gaydar scanned him?
Well, he definitely loves to play up to it on social media.
Interesting.
And he, how do I put this? Certain Milan nights, I have found out some stuff about him.
I said, I just wave goodbye to any OBE or MBE offer from Charles. He'll be dead before. Like, let's be honest. Like, he'll be dead. Oh god, this is a good point. American basketball has solved the fan problem by going into the stands and laying hands. That's facts. Like Malice in the Palace. Finn, do you know about that?
No, girl.
Like there was a time when I think
like
it was
basketball.
the Lakers. Okay, that's fair enough because it's like a big basketball thing where like who was it again? Meta World Peace and like some other guys. They like punched fans in the face and shit. And like ever since then, the fans kind of chill out. Some of the fans still like chat shit. But it's not as bad as it used to be after some of them got punched in the mouth.
Honestly, Do you know what? Maybe British guys should do that more often.
Said, oh yeah, we fight fans in the US. Football fans, I just hate football fans. I don't know. Like, I like the sport, but the fans, I just can't stand them. Like, I was watching Olympic football. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think Argentina was playing someone. I can't remember who they were playing. And who were they playing? But the team almost beat Argentina anyway. And Argentina like scored like a few goals at the end. But anyway, people just started throwing, I guess because the opposing team was pissed that they lost, so they just started throwing cups at the players on the field. And I'm like, why are you throwing cups on the like? What are you doing? I just feel like football fans, they're just like they have the emotional control of like 10-year-old kids. And it's only in football that they behave that way. No other sport. In rugby, they don't do that crap. In basketball, they don't do that. In cricket, they don't do that. In tennis, they don't do that. Only football. Only football.
What's that saying? Football is a sport for gentlemen played by thugs, and then rugby is a thugs game played by gentlemen. I'm actually gonna go because man's got work.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Get,
and thank you
get
for
some
letting me
good
be up
sleep.
there. Oh, I probably won't, but I just can't bother to engage.
Mm.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye. The Nectar Man said there was a much wider context to that. I guess one of the context is that people say that football is like a more working class sport. But I don't agree in the sense that because a sport is working class, it means people should be badly behaved. Like, there are other sports that are quite working class. Like basketball is a very working class sport, and people don't behave badly. So I just don't think the idea of it's a working class sport, it's a class thing. I don't agree with that. I think there are other sports that a lot of working class people play, like basketball being one of them, that the fans aren't badly behaved. I just think it's a football thing. I don't know why though. I don't know what it is about football that attracts the worst of human society, but it just seems to be football specifically that, attracts that. Someone says go to a basketball game in Croatia. It's not bad though. Like, I've gone to a basketball game in Serbia where they're like crazy, and even in Greece, I've been to a basketball like an Olympiacos basketball game in Greece, and they're crazy in a sense that like they scream and shout and they throw flares in the air and shit, but they don't like attack players. They're not throwing cans and drinks at players and shit. Like, it's not the same. They're just very passionate fans. Like, they make it a scary environment for the opposing team. They're not like trying to attack players, and they don't abuse players. Like, if anything, like, because I go to Serbia sometimes to watch EuroLeague games because I'm a fan of Partizan. Like, I just like the team and what they represent, and I think Serbian basketball is amazing. I think Serbians in general, when it comes to basketball, are just amazing. And I'm like a fan of just the way that Serbians play basketball, like their style of basketball. So I like watching Serbian basketball games. And the Partizan fans are just loud and passionate, but they support their team to the death. Like, they're so supportive of their team members. Their team, like, a Partizan player is not going to have a bad game, and all of a sudden they're calling that player a monkey. Like, that's how football fans are. Like, basketball fans are not like that. Someone is saying that working class just means in general lower barrier to entry, has nothing to do with behavior. Yeah, I totally agree. I guess why people would say that class affects behavior is because, like, in tennis, there are a lot of rules. Even like, let's say Wimbledon, you can't just wear anything to Wimbledon. There's actually like a dress code. And I guess the dress code kind of indirectly enforces a certain level of behavior and decorum that you're kind of forced into that you don't feel like you're forced into maybe when you go to a football game or like other sports. So I get the correlation, but yeah. Tosin said Boston Celtics fans. Yeah, to be fair, Boston Celtics fans apparently they're like really racist, no? They're like really racist. But then they say racist stuff, but they don't. From what I know, at least, I'm trying to remember if any Boston Celtics fan has like physically assaulted a player. I can't remember. They might have done, to be fair, but because Celtics fans are tapped. But Boston fans are like well known to be racist. Yeah, Boston fans are insane. They're tapped. Boston fans. Boston racism is more passive aggressive. Celtics fans think that Bob Cousy is better than Tatum as if Bob Cousy isn't an anti-civil rights player. Bob Cousy, that's insane. Someone's saying the Philippines uniform. Let's have a look. Shout out to my Filipino brothers and sisters. Philippines Olympic uniform. Let's have a look. It seems like they use like some of their traditional garments and kind of incorporated their flag with. That's cool. That's cool. Wait, let me find, because right now all I'm seeing is like the actual like sports uniform, but there's a description that kind of described kind of what they're wearing. Oh, don't know why that's not coming up. There we go. Wait, someone said the fabric is made of pineapple. That's cool. What's about the costumes in the opening ceremony? Did you analyze them? Yeah, we've been doing that for a while. Thunder B, I think you came a bit late, but you can always watch it back. Yeah, I'm trying to find these Philippines uniforms. I don't know why I can't find them. It should be very easy to find on Google, but for some reason it's not. Let me see, 1 second. Yeah, I know it's not this one. This is the kit. Let's see. Yeah, I can't seem to find it, guys. Do you know if it's on like some Instagram page or something? Because some of the looks are quite hard to find on the internet. I don't know why. Like just no one posted it, like even their own federation. Kind of bad. Someone said, "How many black people have you seen do figure skating?" That's true. I guess it's also like all these kind of sports, there's just no, like, at least where I grew up, where the hell in London are you gonna learn to do figure skating? Like, what? Where do you even go to learn some shit like that? So you just end up in sports that are like in close proximity to you. Like for me, that was athletics, football, basketball, swimming. I never played tennis. I'm trying to think of another sport I played. Rugby, hockey, cricket. Those are all the sports that were like available to me. And then you find the ones that you're good at. Let's see. Okay, I found a picture, but it's of the Filipino uniforms, but this it's not clear. The image is not clear, but basically that's what they wore. I need to find. I'll look for a better image in the meantime. Let's see what people are saying. In the UK, it's not really cold enough for the sports on ice. I know, right? That's more of like a Canadian type sport. Canada, Russia, those kind of places. Like snowboarding, like all these kind of weird winter sports. Like I've never been skiing in my entire life. Like I don't even know what that's like. We just don't have the climate for that here. And then when I go on holiday, the reason probably why I've never been skiing before is like there's just more interesting things to do to me than to go skiing. And skiing, obviously I've never skied before, but it seems really dangerous. Like you could fall off a cliff or some stuff. I literally fall off a cliff. But yeah, that the Filipino uniform, I really like it, by the way. It's really cool. I think it's really, really cool. Someone's asking me to do the turkey uniform, which I also didn't see, so that'll be cool to look at. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, their uniform looks really interesting. What the hell? That's like a wait, one sec. Let me put that on the screen. Do you guys know who designed the Turkish uniform? It looks like, is it me or does it look like PJs? They look like pajamas. Is there something I'm missing here? Are you going to be wearing an Arc'teryx jacket while skiing? Probably. Duke says, I'm from the Philippines, but personally, I don't like that uniform. Kind of repetitive and boring. This added an embroidery thing. Yeah, traditional clothing from Philippines is made from pineapple. Oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that. That traditional clothing in the Philippines is made from pineapple. That's actually really cool. What kind of fabric is it? So when you say it's made from pineapple, because I'm very familiar with like pineapple leathers, but I'm not familiar with too many other fabrics that are made from pineapple. Outside of leather, the only other fabric I know is like a fabric that kind of mimics kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but Issey Miyake used to use pineapple to like, and cactus actually, to make that kind of fabric. It's kind of like a how do I even describe this fabric? I'm trying to think of what the name of it is, or what the closest name of what it is. Yeah, like silk. It's kind of like exactly that. So Issey Miyake has like done stuff like that. Maybe because if in the Philippines they've been using pineapple to kind of make a silk for so long, maybe that's where Issey Miyake got the idea from. Funny enough, that's probably where he got the idea from. Because I know in this whole fashion scene, Issey Miyake was one of the earlier designers to experiment with so many different fabrics. But that definitely could be one of his inspiration points. Right, people are talking about skiing. Like you can ski in Aspen if you're a tourist, and Bali if you're ultra wealthy. Yeah, guys, is this the Turkey uniform, by the way? Because this one looks like a pajamas. It seems to be the uniform because that's kind of what I'm seeing. No, wait, one sec. Look, that's the uniform. Kind of looks like PJs. Pineapple can have many forms like bamboo from silky to cottony. Okay, everyone's talking about pineapple. That's cool though. These fits say good night. Damn. I would expect more from Turkey because kind of like similar to India and a lot of other countries in this light. Turkey is also a country really famous for having exceptional craftsmanship and a lot of factories are in Turkey. It's a very much a producer country, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, strange. Wait, is this the wrong one? But isn't this the uniform though? Wait, one sec. Um, Apparently these are the Paris uniforms. Let me check. Wait. Oh my God, there's so much drama with the Turkey uniform. So I was reading this article and it says Turkish Paralympians seek new official uniforms for Paris 2024 after criticism of the athlete's attire. So maybe this was the old one that was intended. These things that I said look like PJs, and maybe they changed it. But it doesn't seem to be the case because this is what they had at the opening ceremony, no? That's like a picture of them at the opening ceremony. Oh, which one are you talking about? Because honestly, what I'm looking at on the screen that they're wearing at the opening ceremony is this uniform here. Like that's literally the Eiffel Tower. Do you have a link maybe? Oh my God, so they didn't tell the Turkish people involved. They weren't like the other countries like, oh, it's not fashion week. They said we were not involved in the decision-making process for the outfits for the opening ceremony. The criticism and comparisons to the pajamas were disappointing, the statement read. Going forward, we want to be more proactive in the design process to ensure that our athletes' uniforms represent our nation appropriately and with pride. So wow, oh, so people actually said that people actually said that they look like PJs. Also, to the person in the chat, these are actually the uniforms because it says the Turkish team, consisting of 102 athletes, wore the criticized uniforms designed by Vaco. The reaction on social media was swift and critical. Many users compared the clothing to pajamas. And then let's see. Yeah, so that's the uniform anyway. That's it. That's actually it. He's saying Turkey is the one used by Vaco, but this one is designed by Vaco though. Unless, like, I can't imagine there's a different one. Like, this is it. Imagine your factory is being used to create the garments for other people's looks, and then your country has weak fits. Funny enough, that's actually to be expected. If you guys watched my, I have a documentary on Turkish fashion on my channel actually, and if you guys watch it, if you haven't seen it, I'll definitely suggest to watch it. Because I made that documentary in my bid to talk about fashion other than just like the France and Italy's and the UK and stuff, like New York. And there's a guy who I interviewed called Metin Gursoy. I also have the full interview on Patreon actually with him from a while ago. You might have to scroll. And he was talking about how Turkey is a producer country, but there's no expertise on brand building. So a lot of brands struggle to, in Turkey especially, struggle to make brands that are successful because they don't know how to tell stories. They only know how to make clothes, like to produce. So they're very good at making the thing, but they don't know how to tell the story. They don't know how to market it and all that stuff. So because he does PR for Hermes, and he manages Hermes, especially in Turkey. So he was saying that they're not really used to, you know, making brands that have good narrative and stuff. So he even said when people try to make brands, like these Turkish people that own the factories that have loads of money, they come from like really rich families, they want to start a brand, they come to him and they're like, oh, can you help me make a brand that looks like Dior? And he's like, if you make a brand that looks like Dior, it won't work because people just buy Dior. And like they don't even get it. Like it's hard for them to understand. So a lot of producer countries have that issue where they're very good at making the thing, but they're not very good at promoting the thing. So actually, that's actually very plausible. Thunder B says it symbolizes the flag. I mean, just because it has the colors of the flag, I don't think it symbolizes the flag well. Like genuinely, before I even read the article, I did say it looks like a pajamas. Like genuinely. Listen, I fully understand it in a greater global context when considering economies of scale for ready-to-wear, for instance, but in this instance, you're essentially making once-off outfits. Culture says, I've seen it. You feature one of my favorite jewelers, Begum Khan. I have a few pieces of theirs. Yeah, I love Begum Khan. Like, Begum is amazing. And shout out to Begum for doing the interview with me. That was so nice of her. But yeah, I really love that interview. And her store is amazing. Like her store in Istanbul is like so good. When I was there, it was like, wow. Talk about like themed store. That store is cool as hell. Production countries are conditioned to make instead of being creative. It starts from the thinking in schools, I feel. Yeah, this is true. So this is something that Metin Gursoy also mentioned, where he said that one of the reasons why the storytelling isn't in Turkey is because a lot of fashion schools aren't in Turkey. So only recently have they started having fashion schools like S-Mod. There's now S-Mod Istanbul. There's a few other fashion schools popping up in Turkey. So he was saying that the education kind of will help change that narrative around Turkish designers and Turkish brands. And also, I think he said he lectures in, I think, S-Mod. So he's a guest lecturer in S-Mod. So he's doing a lot of stuff to kind of change that. Culture says, anytime I'm in Istanbul, I make a visit. Yeah, same. It's such a cool store. And it's in Nişantaşı, right? The like cool part of Istanbul. There are really some exceptional independent designers in Istanbul. I totally agree. When I was there, I met quite a lot of them. Really, really cool brands. It's just that none of them are really like mainstream, unfortunately. There are some great storytellers, but in my opinion, they look too much to Europe and because of the political climate. Yeah. Yeah, Nişantaşı. Yeah, Nişantaşı. There may be a larger conversation to have about gatekeepers and cultural tastemakers in the production countries then. That's a good conversation to bring up, to be honest. So yeah. But anyway, with that said, we have now passed the 3-hour mark. So I think I shall be taking my leave, guys. But thank you very much for tuning in. It's very nice to have a light-hearted stream. Tomorrow will be kind of more fashiony. We're going to be talking about McQueen. And then after that, we're going to talk about Peter Coping at L'Envent. So we've got some more fashiony streams for you. So yeah, hopefully you guys look forward to that. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Thank you very much for